The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, December 17th, 2021. And this sports show shall begin right now. Yeah. Shout out to you for watching wherever the hell you may be here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We can't thank you enough. Last night we had our office gathering for the holiday at the house. It was a lot of fun. We got a chance to have a couple beers. What? Couple wines.
Wine.
Couple White Claws.
Wine.
Couple smokes.
Wine.
And ultimately a little bit of disappointment amongst a bunch of happiness, because this year has obviously been one that is going to be remembered forever for our particular family, our particular group. But while watching that Thursday night football game, that was a clash of division rivals in a beautiful fashion. A Thursday night football game with the magnitude that we have been waiting for some time. A Chargers team coming off a massive win in New York. And then you got the Chiefs. Did they find it last week against the Raiders when they flipped the switch and the offense looked amazing? There was all this hype about how great this game was going to be, and I thought for the Super Boost to go back to back. Patty Mahomes is going to want to come out and throw the ball all over the yard. He's going to want to score touchdowns, throw touchdowns. In SoFi, a fast track. He's got the fastest dudes on the trackiest tracks. And a fullback ran in a touchdown.
Come on.
A fullback for the Kansas City Chiefs ran in a goal line touchdown last night.
Yeah. Plus 10,000.
Andy Reid has drawn up no less than 700 plays to not have to hand the ball off to the fullback ever.
That's right.
They roll right, pitch back, underhand as a dive play. Mm-hmm. They get Patrick Mahomes out of center, move somebody else in as a dive play. They put 5-6 people in the background. They do the full electric slide, the wobble, and then somebody else gets it and they do a dive. They never, ever run the ball with a fullback. And congrats to Burton, I believe.
Yeah, Burton. Nice job, Burton.
I mean, he killed our Super Boost. He could have clearly just thrown a touchdown to somebody very easily like he has done, 700-800 times in the past. But our Super Boost loses, and we thought for some time the Chiefs were also going to lose because, and as we were watching this game, we thought to ourselves, of course, Jackson Mahomes is back to being a piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a few weeks. Hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
It's been a few. I was actually proud of Jackson Mahomes. I'm like, hey, Jackson Mahomes, young guy, okay? And I understand everybody's like, he's riding along the coattails. Whatever the case, he's there. Thrusted into the spotlight with his personality, the way he wants to act, the way he wants to do his thing, build his own stuff, automatically getting attention because of the family he's from. And although people say, like, and they did beautifully in that SOT thing, like, that is obviously a gift for Jackson Mahomes. But for Jackson Mahomes, if he wasn't a part of that family, nobody would know how insufferable he is.
Yeah, true.
But he would still be probably just as insufferable in the situations he would be in. So instead of being at games and suites dumping water on people, he'd be at Applebee's if he was dumping water on somebody's property. There is just, he was thrusted into a position of limelight as well because of how talented his brother was. And I'm not saying I feel bad for him at all, but I thought maybe, hey, learning lessons here, because there were some things he did where people were like, oh, yo, that's dope. And everybody else was like, this guy fucking stinks.
The worst.
And then there'll be another thing that would happen. Be like, oh, you wouldn't get it. You're just old people that don't understand the new fad, the new craze. This is a TikTok dance. Get off it. Let Jackson live.
Let him live.
Please.
Let Jackson live. And then there was other people like, nah, this guy fucking stinks. When you stand on a memorial of a guy who is universally beloved and heralded, and you do your dance on there. No matter, by the way, we said this at the time, Jackson Mahomes should have never been able to get to that part.
Right.
But to not have the self-awareness after all the other things that have happened that have potentially forced him to be into a self-aware mode, you would think that would have not happened. When that happened, I think myself included, as somebody who has always been like, hey, let him live. He's young, he's doing his own thing. As soon as that happened, I immediately went, this guy fucking stinks. It actually went to an entire thing about Patrick Mahomes, who I think only wants to do right, only wants to do good, seems to be super positive, very liked by everybody, eats ketchup.
Oh, yeah.
Eats ketchup. Everybody seems to love him. Had a lot of success early. Always upbeat, always positive, always competitive. I actually started to think, you know what? Although all the other shit was a bit insufferable, I could see why he did it for the TikTok, for whatever he was trying to accomplish. When he stood on Sean Taylor's thing, and then he knew that Patrick Mahomes was going to have to eat that, right? Patrick Mahomes is going to get messages from a lot of people like, hey, Pat, love you, man. Can't be having what's going on there. And Patrick Mahomes, this, you know, and I don't know him personally, never met him, but this kind of, you know, free, fun-loving, kind of gunslinger, competitive guy. Anytime something like that can creep in, you could see how it could affect his performance. Now, we were talking about his performance. He was still top 5 quarterback in the NFL when it came to passing yards, touchdowns. They still had a winning record and everything like that. We're just talking about the pantheon of players in all sports that have come in and taken over at a very young age. Patrick Mahomes is in that thing. So when Jackson Mahomes is doing all this shit, I thought it was only natural that he potentially had his mind off the game. And it was a different mode and a different zone. I think he had a kid as well, so there's a whole nother batch. There it is. There's a lot of stuff going on. Then Jackson Mahomes kind of disappeared, didn't go to a game. Then he went somewhere else. Didn't really hear from him. Oh, this asshole maybe learned from standing on Sean Taylor's memorial that, hey, I can't be an asshole all the time because I'm a part of a family that if I'm an asshole, everybody's going to tell me I'm an asshole and I'm potentially fucking up a $500 million bag for my family. I thought that's potentially what happened. Then Jackson obviously goes to SOT, does his whole thing, wields his power stick around Kansas City because his last name is Mahomes. Something happens where somebody reaches back out to SOT after they bury Jackson Mahomes in a beautiful apology. Beautiful. Didn't know the place existed. Read the apology. Oh, that's a place I would like to go to.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I think they also heard me say that.
Yeah.
They don't want me to be there. And I think maybe some other people had to reach out to him. They issued an apology on the other side about how they handled Jackson Mahomes. So it was naturally for everybody to think, oh, Patrick is probably the one that, or Patrick's family or somebody in the family say, hey, you can't do this. This is very rude to Patrick Mahomes' brother or whatever. Still, so now Pat's thinking about this, all this shit again. Oh, my brother's all the way back. He's getting blacklisted from bars. I got to send messages to get him out of this thing. Then he starts playing terrible football last night on a 4th and goal at the 1. He throws one into the dirt with a wide open guy.
Terrible.
And when I'm playing catch with the Baby Duke, you know, that is available now at store.patmcafeeshow.com, an incredible ball. There's only 100 left, 150 once of members of the McAfee Mafia there. YouTube.com/the Pat McAfee Show. That 4th and 1 ball, where he threw it and went into the ground, we'll be throwing a Baby Duke around the office. Okay, we'll be throwing a Baby Duke around the office. And every once in a while, my shoulder will just like boom, and then something will happen to my arm, and then the ball will come off like my pinky, and it is just I'm not Patrick Mahomes.
No, you're not.
So I can understand how a ball could come out awkward, could come out uncomfortable, but whenever that happened, it's like, this is not something that Patrick Mahomes at his age, young age, with his ability to remember, he was the guy that would run backwards, flip his hips, and just do one of these things. He was the guy who would throw lefty while diving. Patrick Mahomes is throwing submarine pitches, 70 yards for touchdowns. So whenever you're 4th and 1 on the goal line, by the way, against a division rival, a team that beat you before, wide open tud, as soon as you see Pat, you go, what the hell is going on here?
Not good.
You go, this goddamn Jackson Mahomes. This rat bastard, Jackson Mahomes, has to be getting into his mind. He's thinking about other things other than football. It's not just fun football anymore, for whatever the case. He skips that thing in there. Then he gets back out on the field. No big deal. What do we do? Throw a pick. Patrick Mahomes, my God, is he dead? Is what I was thinking. So I had the Chiefs -3. Which was a fantastic bet that looked like it was going to die because Justin Herbert was slinging it. Austin Eckler was flying around. Now, Brandon Staley he came on the show, gave us a great conversation.
That's right.
Does he actually, is he the one that all the stats people like pray to at night?
Yes.
I believe so. He's their Lord.
Dear Brandon Staley, we come to you today to thank you for stating what we've been stating for a long time.
Thank you.
6 points is more than 3 points. And although 0 points is definitely an outcome that could happen that is less than both of those numbers, we're going for 6 every fucking time, Brandon Staley. Because the stats tell us, even though you went 0-4 last night, first time ever in NFL history that a team walked away with no points with first and goal 2 times in the first half or something like that.
Not one.
And although you end up losing by 6, which hindsight would have been just 2 very, 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 very short chip shot field goals.
That's right. Side's 50-50.
And your stats will just get tossed into I don't know, 10,000 stats. Nobody will even remember that you fucking lost this game to the Chiefs.
Nope.
And the stats won't even recall that you did this and made this decision because the overwhelming number is on the positive side. But what a lot of people outside of this stat god Brandon Staley community that I'm talking to right now that I almost forgot about, what a lot of people outside of this stat thing say, if it has happened before, it could happen again.
That's right.
So unless the stat is 100-0, are we willing to bet entire legacies, destinies, careers, and games on those? And Brandon Staley, every single time you say, fucking right.
Oh, yeah.
Let Justin throw.
There's other analytics we'd like to dive into, and we appreciate you for bringing this into our lives because you legitimize us more than any other NFL coach in the fucking history of coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Staley's the new age. Brandon Staley will carry our stats and analytics forward. And we do know that, Brandon Staley, you got to start fucking winning then if you do that. Because it'll be quite a dunk on our entire stats community if you keep fucking losing and getting 0 points whenever you could get 6, but there's 3 very much available, and then you would not even have to go to overtime or lose the game or anything like that. But you need to keep holding it down for stats. We appreciate you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Staley.
What's his deal?
He's a clown.
No, he's not. He's very nice on here.
He was very nice on here.
He's very
Absolutely.
nice on the show.
Sure.
Well, I think it's like what you said. Like at a certain point, like if it's you can't like handcuff yourself to the analytics, and I feel like that's what they do. Like they get so like you said, it's like, hey, if it's happened once, it could happen again. Like you get so like bogged down and like, well, shit, if we don't go for this 56% of the time, teams do lose this game. And it's like, well, if you get fucking beat anyway, it doesn't matter.
Nobody will remember those lost. The stats community will not remember in their stats. It'll be a movement of 0.0001% because of how many plays that they have been able to do that whole thing. So it won't even move. But those were massive, vital decisions that were being made. The Chargers allowed the Chiefs to stay in that game.
Yes.
The Chargers allowed the Chiefs to stay in that. And I understand if you pick up 14 more points, hey, that's better than 0.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, that's better than what we have right now.
That's right.
But another 6 points changes that game immensely as well. Now, will Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce be able to turn on the, hey, we're going to go ahead and open a fire hose here whenever we want like they did at the end of the game? Maybe. But that game, I did not fully understand what Staley was doing. And I'm like, what, do you hate kicking? I don't. Is this that high school coach where in Arkansas or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where he doesn't punt.
Nope.
Goes for 2 and kicks onside kicks every time. He's like, yeah, we win. It's like, okay, that's against people that don't understand the cover 2 defense.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. He got a college job. They won 1 game, and then he lost the rest of them, and now he's going back to high school.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand trying to transform the game and make it better, and stats can definitely do that. But if you're watching that game last night, it's hard not to be like, just kick the field goal, dude. What do we even do? I like the energy, hey, I got faith in my team. I like my quarterback. I like where we're at. Maybe, and people are saying that, maybe he doesn't trust his defense not to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes, and you got to go for 7 when you're playing against Pat. You got to be able to go for 7. Or maybe he was thinking, if we don't score, they got 95 yards, they got to be able to go. They did, but like it's an interesting thing. Joining us now is a man who's been around the NFL, I think since its inception.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about an absolute living legend icon. A man who has called every moment that has ever happened in the sports world and has somehow remained so cool, so genuine, and so damn great. Ladies and gentlemen, Sunday Night Football, play-by-play legend, Al Michaels.
Yeah!
What's up, man? Oh!
I decided to dress for success.
I respect.
I've been working out all week, baby. just to be your doppelganger. And I got to tell you something. I don't know what the future is going to hold next year, but if you got a spot for me, either in the studio or I could play the role of AJ Hawk as well.
We have room for you wherever, whenever. Okay, so let's dive right into it. You know that I exist. This is awesome.
I love this show.
No.
This is everything I dreamed about, right? No holds barred television. None.
How long you been in the game? TV game? I said forever, but I should have done more research. This is 100% on me.
How about 1968? I did the Hawaii Islanders of the Pacific Coast League, minor league baseball. Then on to the Cincinnati Reds in 1971. That's 50 freaking years ago. Marty Brennaman succeeded me for the next 44. I did 3 years there, and then I went to San Francisco. The Giants tripled my salary. And that's why. And then ABC for 30 years and NBC for 16. And here we are, man. They talk about it in sports, and the new phrase is called competitive stamina. Do you still get the same? Because the way you deliver and the way you perform is so good every single week. You, for 50 years in the business, it seems like you get better and better each week somehow. And I would assume that there has to be some sort of boredom, or is there not? You absolutely love every moment, huh? Pat, I love walking into the stadium. We get there 3 hours in advance. You watch the crowd come in, the music's going. I love drama. And, the great thing about sports is you don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows anything. Everybody knows nothing, basically. We all know that, right? So there's no way you can tell me how this game is going to work out on any given night. And that's what I love. I love the drama. I love the excitement. I love the feel. I love, being on the number one show on television is also pretty exciting too. Every week you're going to get 18 to 20 million people watching. I work with a great group of people, and I'm as energized as I've ever been right now. I love it. Retirement? Are you kidding me? Like what? What do you do when you retire? Tell me.
What do you do in your off time?
You retired after you led the league in punting, right?
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah, 1 year. Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. That's a big deal. What happened? Why?
Well, I don't know if you just saw the deal I just signed. I thought it was potentially possible to have that happen in the internet. I thought the internet was kind of the modern day gold rush. Personally, I honestly believe that. I still believe that. I got very lucky with the people I was in, and I was staring down like my third surgery in 4 years. There was just a lot of things that it felt like the universe was telling me. You know what I mean, Al?
I saw the deal you signed. Why do you think I want to get on your show? What are we talking about?
Hey, we opened up some funds, by the way. If you do, want a spot in the studio next year, by all means, anytime a legend wants to go, we appreciate the kind words. I had no idea you even knew we existed, dude. That's very cool. You're a busy man, I assume. No? Busy? No?
I'm busy watching this show. What are you talking about? My 3 hours every morning is the Pat McAfee Show.
What do you do? You're in California full time? And
I live in LA. Yeah, I live in Los Angeles.
Do you guys travel out on like Thursday still for those games on Sunday night, or has that schedule changed a bit?
No, normally Thursday or Friday, but I'm off this week. There are designated games that Tirico does, and this is one of them. So I'm home this weekend. I won't go to Tampa, where it's you've got Tampa hosting New Orleans, so I'm off. But next week I'm back in Dallas. The night after Christmas, it's Washington at Dallas. So we have designated games off, as does Michelle Tafoya, right? And I'm reading this conspiracy theory about Michelle. When the season started, had 4 designated games off. She picked them in June, 2 in Green Bay, 1 in Baltimore, 1 in Seattle. Now, she lives in Minnesota, so she gets enough cold weather. She wanted some cold weather games off.
Smart.
Right? Now there's a conspiracy theory that because she went on The View, she was taken off. This is why I call it out. The outside noise is like a cacophony of crap. Is what it is, right?
A cacophony. It always is. But hold on, though. You're on the number one show on TV. There's always going to be drama and conversation, which leads me to this. Happy Michelle Tafoya made the right decision, by the way. I live in Minnesota. I'm going to go ahead and take these cold games off. I'll stay down there. I like to hear that, by the way, because maybe we did read some of that. When you talk about your designated games off, are those forced? Do you appreciate them? Because when Tirico left ESPN, I think as a sports fan, it's like, hey, Tirico is an incredible play-by-play guy. And they're like, well, maybe you'll
get in the NFL, it's like, well, Al Michaels, the GOAT play-by-play guy. That's going to be a very difficult thing. Do you and Tirico get along? And is that ever something that you get mad about, like missing? Like Saints-Bucks is a pretty big-time game, obviously, in the NFC South and in the run. Is that something that there's any drama around or no?
Not really. No, Mike and I get along great. We have great respect for each other. He's a terrific guy. He's a terrific talent. And it's a matter of, he's kind of been, in a way, in the bullpen since we brought him in 2016. And NBC was going to try to get Thursday Night Football full-time. And Mike was going to come over, and he was going to do Thursday, and I was going to do Sunday. And then what happened was Fox wound up getting the package in 2018. So now Mike was only on Notre Dame, and they decided, well, why not? Let's bring Mike out of the pen and have him do a few games. He loves the NFL, in addition to doing a great hosting job on Football Night in America. So that's pretty much the way it worked out. And for me, it's fine at this point. I'm doing, I'll do next week. Tirico does January 2nd. I do the last game of the season on the 9th. Then we have the wild card. We have the divisional, and it's NBC's year to do the Super Bowl, which I can Uber to back and forth, right? How cool is that? Not that I will, but you get the idea here.
No, yeah, you get a Rolls Royce to take old Al Michaels from the house to L.A. Super Bowl. That's amazing. Can't wait to hear you and Collinsworth on the call. I did not know that until you just said it right now. I always look forward to those because it is the best refs, right, have to get on the field allegedly. The best refs have to get on the Super Bowl field. The best teams have to get on the Super Bowl field. And since there's going to be hundreds of millions of people, I think our best commentary crew has to be represented in there as well. And I think you guys always crush for the league and for the NFL. Let's talk about the league, though, a little bit, Al. It's crazy this year. Is this different than you've been 50 years you've been calling sports and in the game? This season, it honestly feels more ridiculous than ever. Am I wrong in thinking that? Is that just recency bias for me?
I think it's recency bias in a way, because every year people say to me, have you ever seen a year like this? More dramatic games? You ever seen more injuries? But Pat, I've heard that every year for like the last 15. Granted, maybe this is the wildest year. I don't know. I mean, when the Houston Texans, who look like they can't beat a college team, go to Tennessee and beat the Red Hot Titans, I'm going, whoa, anything can happen. When Denver goes to Dallas and leads 30-0, in the middle of the fourth quarter, how does that happen? But, this is why we love sports, because there's no way anybody could have predicted any of that stuff. It's high drama. That's why I love it, and that's why people love it, I think.
Jags beat the Bills. Think about that.
Yeah.
Jags beat the Bills.
Right. Think about that.
Coach fired already, by the way. Urban. Hey, okay, here we go. You've been around the NFL. You talk to a lot of coaches. You know basically everybody around. Everybody has respect for Al Michaels. I think that is just a universal thing at this point. What a legend you are, by the way. Everybody has respect for Al Michaels. I mean, smoke your cigars. Job well done, sir. Whenever you meet these coaches, maybe for the first time, whether it's a primetime game, Sunday football game, or you see their operation, is there some, and I'm not saying this about Urban Meyer, it just so happens to be the most recent event. Is there some places you go and you're like, this shit ain't going to work? Is there that? Or is there some place you go like, oh, this is a great building?
Yeah, I mean, most of the places are pretty good, and we have a relationship with most of the coaches and I think there's a respect on the level that they know we're not going to give away stuff that that's off the record. We won't. We're told a lot of things, but it helps us not go to places we don't want to go to. So that's what, when people say, does he give you the game plan? No, he doesn't give us the game plan. Nobody walks in and, here's the first 15 plays or whatever. They may talk about what they're trying to do, in the first quarter, that sort of thing. But Chris can figure out, in 2 seconds what a team is trying to do. But we need to be talked off some things. We might watch teams over the course of a year and we think that a guy is playing really well. And the way the coach responds to our question about how he's played this year might not be what we think it is. And then we want to find out sometimes the guys who are the hidden guys who can do certain things. So that is very beneficial to us in these meetings. But we have a really good relationship. And I also find, the personal interest stories are the best because we have the game. But if you can weave in a lot of good stuff about the coaches, about the players, that enhances the broadcast. And that's our goal.
50 years in, are you still hammering out all the research right now? Are you watching the film, the X's and O's, and writing your own notes and your own everything like that still at this point?
Pat, I'm doing more homework than I've ever done. And you know why? because the fans have access to and know more than they've ever known, right?
So
now,
it has to
some
up
of it is
your
wrong,
game.
right? Right. You've got everybody has access to every website and every show, and they think they know. So and most of them, know a lot, but now we've got to stay one step ahead and be able to provide from time to time certain things that we know they don't have access to or could know that could enhance the telecast. So in terms of the workload, more than ever.
You like Chris?
But I enjoy it.
You and Chris get along as humans. It feels like you guys genuinely like each other up there. And I think that's a massive part of not only a team, like you see NFL teams, I think if they like each other, they're going to be a lot better. I think when it comes to bands and musical bands, when they like each other, I think they're going to be a lot better. And you know when bands start to like fall out with each other by their performance shows the same way. Booths, I think, are a big thing. You and Chris always seem to kind of be on the same page.
We're like brothers. We worked together for 13 years.
It's a long time.
And it's great. I mean, we go out to dinner every Friday night, every Saturday night. Our wives are very close. They travel with us too, for most of the time. And it's great. And his Jack is on the show on Sunday night on the Peacock version of it, and then at halftime and the pregame show, Austin, his other son, lives out here in L.A. It's great. They're a fantastic family. Love working with them. Hey, look, I've hit the lottery. The last 20 years of my career, 13 with Chris, and before that, 7 with John Madden. How good is that?
Well, I think they're also saying the same thing. Like, I hit the lottery. I'm working with Al Michaels. I think so. I mean, smoke your cigar once for yourself, too, every once in a while. The new stats and analytics, it came into the spotlight last night, obviously. You're in L.A., so it's probably a conversation over there this morning. The Chargers and Brandon Staley seem to hate kicking field goals, because 6 points is more than 3 points. Have you asked coaches about this new data and analytics era in which it seems like all old school football rules for some people are just completely done?
We have, and I heard the early part of the show, and you're right. And Staley's taking a little heat here because he's always going for it on fourth down, always. And in fact, at one point, he had I think he had a 7-point lead a few weeks ago in the game, and he went for 2 to go. So it's either 9 or so. What are you doing that for? I mean, really? If you don't make it, so. There are a million ways to look at it, but I'm a believer in a game. Every game has a different rhythm and feel, and you've got to feel where that game is at any particular time. And when they go for it just before halftime last night, that's a deflating thing not to make it. Now, Kansas City is walking off the field feeling pretty good, another goal line stand, and the Chargers are going, well, we could have led by, more than we do. I mean, you tell me, you were in the game, you played the game. I mean, there's got to be a certain emotional deflation if something like that happens to your team.
Well, I think the issue is, and by the way, Al, incredible breakdown right there. It's whenever people look at football players, and it's because of the guy you worked with for 7 years here straight, and the documentary's coming out. I can't wait to watch it. But on Madden, every player is a number. Okay, so every player is a number. It's this dude's a 94, this dude's a 76, this dude's a 71. But what Madden doesn't know is that some days this 71 is actually an 85. In some days, this 94 is actually a 72. And in other areas, they're up and down because they're humans. The Madden thing kind of took the human view of athletes kind of out of that whole thing. And I think stats and analytics do the same thing. Whenever you're talking about field, they take out the humans that are being involved in these analytics. They're treating it as if it's robots or a video game. I think that is the big thing, Al.
No, you're on top of it because, look, there's a place for analytics, but just as an aid, you can't make your decisions totally predicated on that. And in fact, I think analytics has helped to not ruin baseball, but you didn't see pitchers coming in every 2 innings. You didn't see the shifts on every batter. I mean, baseball needs to be made better right now. And part of the problem, I think, is all of the analytics around the sport of baseball. It's made it a less interesting. I don't want to see a pitcher come in every 2 innings. Do you?
No, Al. I just want to see Shohei Ohtani every night. I want to see him doing his thing, and then I want to see them hit bombs over there. But what do we know, Al? We're just two shirtless dudes, or sleeveless dudes talking about the world. Everybody's probably much smarter than I am. I don't know if they're smarter than you ever. Whenever you're talking about feeling a situation, though, and riding a game, this happened last night to Joe Buck. Whenever that devastating injury happened, which was scary as hell, football can have those moments where it's very scary. And I guess I could ask you, too, about the camera, like feeling obligated to zoom in there and the cameraman not, whatever the case. The production of it is however it goes. Joe Buck in that moment knows it's a serious moment, knows it's a scary moment, and he didn't have necessarily the greatest words about why something was potentially happening. Do you recognize those massive moments that you're in, whether it's a big-time touchdown that's going to be on a highlight reel for the rest of time, or like an injury that has to be treated as, this could be very, very devastating for this human, this team, and this? How do you balance that? Is it just a natural thing for you?
It is, and I've learned through the years, Pat, and first of all, it's a visual medium, television. You see that it's an issue. I mean, when you saw Parham, you knew, that's not good. Hopefully he's just out for, a minute. He'll be fine. He'll walk off the field. And we've seen some horrific injuries that the guy will get up and all of a sudden he's going to the sideline in a minute and a half. You go back to like when Bo Jackson ended his career, it was a completely innocuous play where he gets tackled along the sideline in a playoff game at the Coliseum against the Raiders. Bengals. It was the Raiders against the Bengals back in whatever year it was, and it looked like nothing. And Bo comes off the field, and that was the end of his career. So you never know what's happening. I did a Green Bay game in my first or second year of Monday Night Football, and Tim Lewis got hurt, and you didn't know what it was. And those were in the days when they would take the guy off the field without a cart. They'd walk him off the field. He might have and Lewis wound up having a career-ending injury. The bottom line is, you see it, and you say, look, you're seeing what the scene is. You don't speculate. You don't. And then you hope that your sideline reporter and the production people are able to get further information. Period. That's it. Where else can you go? And you just say, hey, let's just hope the guy is fine. There's nothing more to say.
You're like you're the voice, though, for everybody that is feeling the emotion of fear, though, while watching this happen. So I think that is something, just being able to be cool through that whole moment, I think is a big deal for all the viewers that is like millions and millions. And you always you do just have this incredibly cool feel. Like you do. And it's a genuine, have you always been just like not too high on the highs, too low on the lows? It's just as who you are?
I think as the years have gone by, I've understood it better. When you start out and I'm young and maybe I'm talking a little bit too much and I am speculating a little bit more, but then you learn. You learn along the way. You want to be right. I don't care if you're first. We live in this world of being first is a vanity play, period. You heard it here first, who gives a damn? To me, it's just get it right. Get it right. And in situations like that, you don't know what it is. You don't know. All you can do is hope. They take them off. They go to the hospital. You wait for a report. That's all you can do. But I'll tell you how far we've come in this business. And Bob Trumpy's great. I love him. He was fun on the air. Good guy. But he's doing a game in the late '80s, and I'm watching on television. And Reggie Roby is the punter for Miami, and Reggie gets hit, and Reggie's laid out. And Trumpy said, "Oh, that's not arthroscopic. That's major surgery." That's what he said, right? Roby punted the next week.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
so Roby was tough, by the way. The expectation of Reggie Roby was 4 to 6 weeks. He was out less than 6 days. Unbelievable. We're talking to Al Michaels. Al, legend. Does anybody listen to your thoughts or ideas in the NFL for if you want to change things? For instance, this COVID protocol thing right now is all the rage. Hey, this is the conversation because there's asymptomatic cases happening not only in football, but all over the country, I think, at a rapid rate. And we learned of this Omicron variant out of Botswana, then South Africa came in, and it's a fast runner, Al. The Omicron, this one runs, it spreads quicker than any variant we had heard before. I don't know anything about any of that, but I do know that there's a lot of cases spiking, and some of them, not all of them, are asymptomatic. A lot of NFL players, asymptomatic testing positive, and these protocols were created when I think we knew less about the current situation we're in, but the NFLPA and the NFL are currently in the middle of negotiation because the NFLPA can't allow the rules to get loosened because the NFLPA wouldn't be standing for health then. It's just, how do you think this goes going forward? Do you think there's any adjustment to this, and how do you keep yourself out of this somehow? How do you keep yourself safe through it all when it feels inevitable?
I didn't go to med school, so I stay out of that part of it. I mean, you and I, we're in the same boat there.
Yeah.
But I think the league is beginning to change. I think you're beginning to see now, I think from what happened, and I saw, Rappaport's thing on your show a couple of days ago, where they're trying to get to the point where maybe if enough guys are asymptomatic, right, and don't have any problems with testing after testing positive, there maybe has to be a different protocol. I don't know. Again, this is up to the medical people, but it seems to me, Pat, that it's moving in that direction. Instead of saying, "Oh no, you're done, you're finished, you're over, goodbye for 10 days," they're getting a little, I don't want to say looser, but I think there's a more of an understanding of what's happening. And if a guy is going to be 3 or 4 days into it, he's fine. I mean, come on, test him and maybe put him back in there.
I think that's what the common thought is, but you and I both know that the NFL and the NFLPA, whenever they're negotiating, it's like every word, everything. And the NFLPA almost has to stand for no, we can't, because if it spreads and somebody gets it 20 years from now, it just feels like the rollout post-COVID. And I did walk through a med school one time.
Oh, okay.
I did a walkthrough one time, even though we don't know anything. The post-COVID thing here is going to be its own. I mean, this is going to be its own story in of itself, I think. If we're anywhere near it, by the way, that would be very egregious of me to say that the post-COVID thing is it. But that whole process is going to be a thing now, Al. It's going to be a whole thing. If the NFL changed the rules, the whole world will change the rules. Al?
Well, the NFL, the rest of the world is looking at the NFL, looking at, how other companies are dealing with this, how countries are dealing with this. We don't know where we're going with this. I mean, this just happened in March of 2020, and then we thought we were out of the woods and everything's great and everybody's going to have fun. What are we doing back here? What are we doing? And we don't know. Again, this is like speculating about an injury. How do we know where we're going to be? I don't. And how many different things have you read over the past 3 weeks about the Omicron virus? This is the worst thing ever. It's 75% is potent. No, it's not. Now it's this. It's. I mean, I don't even know anymore. My head is exploding with everything. That's why I just love being. I love being on this show because it's like this is just a refuge for me.
Well, anytime you want to stop by and get away a little bit, we would love to have you. Love to have you. You're awesome. We're talking to Al Michaels, play-by-play Sunday Night Football, and so many moments. 50 years,
Long time.
Crushing it. By the way, not slowing down. How you doing? Keep it moving. Go ahead, Ty.
Al, when we talk about elite quarterbacks in the league right now, we always talk about their recall. Like Rodgers came on, and in the Sunday night game when he threw that touchdown pass to Aaron Jones, he remembered, a play that Favre ran in the preseason of 2005. Do you have that same type of recall when it comes to games you've done? Or at this point, because you've done so many, do a lot of the things just kind of get reduced down to little moments?
I saw you guys talking about the other day when you had Aaron on there. He is amazing. Awesome. Peyton Manning was like that too. Sean McVay is 1,000% like that. I can remember a lot of stuff, and for some reason I got a chip in my brain, can tie a date into what happened, and can explain it, and can remember how I saw it with my eyes, and it's in my brain. But, guys, you get so immersed in this, there are times when my wife, who I've been married to for over 50 years, has to have a name and number on the back of her nightgown for me to know who it is. Because my brain is exploding with all this stuff. But it's fun. And for some reason, I'm very, it's like when I did the Super Bowl, Pittsburgh against Arizona in 2008, and Harrison made the interception and ran it back 100. I can see it. I can see the whole play because it was such an amazing event, amazing play, that here it is 13 years later, and I can describe every step he took.
How come
and I don't know if you're the same way. For me, immediately after we get out of a show, I have no idea what we just talked about for the last 3 hours. But you get me tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, I remember Al Michaels and I talked about, like, after the game, do you get into like a zone during the game that you, for instance, when I would go punt or kick, I wouldn't remember the play at all. I will go out there and then I come to the sideline, I like watch it back. I'm like, okay, sweet. And I think it's because I maybe just stop thinking and just kind of go into it. Do you do that when you call games? And is it difficult afterwards to remember what the hell just happened?
What you said is so great right now because I'm immersed in the production and the presentation of the show. And there have been times when I will go back to a hotel and we'll get into an elevator with people and they'll say who won the game and I have to think about it.
Yeah.
Seriously, because I'm into the production and presentation of the show. So I know the game's going on and the game is dramatic and you're excited about it, what's happening. And then all of a sudden you walk out of the booth and you go, huh?
What happened?
And you don't remember who won. You're thinking about the next week.
Whenever we started doing the show like daily basis, and we're going to start putting clips out and everything, and we were kind of getting into the rollout of the idea. I was like, all right, we're going to start putting clips out every single day. We got done with the one show, and the boys were like, all right, what clips do you want to put out from there? And my first question would be, what do we talk about? And it was like, oh, I am not going to be able to do this every single day, I think. So literally, we just put the clips out during the show, and it's like those clips are almost like just a reminder to me of like, what the fuck happened today? It's wild how the whole brain works, Al, I assume you're super high IQ guy, Wonderlic guy?
I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, I've never taken a test. I don't know. But, I'm probably like a lot of people. I can remember a lot of stuff, and then other stuff I'm like, what? What happened? So, but I've been, it's kind of funny. My brain works like as a continuum where I can see the calendar. And I kind of, like 1971, I could feel where I was, 1982. By the way, you get into the 2000s, it's harder. The 90s were much easier than the 2000s for some reason. Don't ask me why.
What were you into in the 2000s?
And I think part of it with you, Pat, is that it's so you have such a high energy show. I mean, you're expending a ton of energy, right? And then there's kind of like maybe nothing left at the end when you walk away.
It's interesting.
I mean, you can't keep that energy level going. And by the way, one other guy I got to bring up to you because I did the Cincinnati Reds in the early '70s. My major league debut in '71. Pete Rose was the guy who could remember every. There you go, left-handed. That's right. Pete just switch there. You got it.
Bingo.
The whole thing. And Pete would remember every pitch of the game, every pitch. And I would on the road after the game on the bus, I would sit next to him. Because he would go through every part of the game. And I got, between him and Johnny Bench and Sparky Anderson and Joe Morgan, I got a PhD in baseball. Jeez. Without analytics.
Hold on, without any analytics, that's internet being able to just look everything up at that time as well. You have to have the coolest Rolodex of people, huh? Yeah, at all times? Or is it mostly people reaching out to you all the time?
You're on this earth a long period of time, Pat. You do meet a lot of people. I live in L.A., so... Yeah, I had my share of high-profile friends. Let's put it that way. What can I tell you?
Go ahead, Tone. Thank you,
Al. Troy Aikman was doing an interview the other day, and it was your name was brought up potentially for Amazon and Thursday Night Football next year and going forward. I don't know if you have any comment on that, but what would it be like at this point of your career? You were with Madden for a long time, now Collinsworth for a long time. What would it be like at this point of your career doing NFL with another color guy?
Well, you mentioned Troy. I have the greatest respect for him. I think Troy is great. I think he's been great for all of those years at Fox. He's terrific. I mean, he's the kind of guy that, you could walk into a booth. He's the finished product. And I think at this point in my life and career, I could be a mentor, but I mean, that's a hard thing to do on the fly. You get somebody brand new and they could know everything about football, but they don't know everything about television, about how it works. And guys who do this for a living, the analysts, I mean, the hardest thing is you're getting into the booth and you're watching the game. You know what's going on in the game. But you're trying to fold in with the producer, with the production truck, with the replay system, the whole thing. That's a completely different animal. And very few guys have been able to step off the field and get there and get to, an A-level grade that quickly. So at this point, I'd love to work with a finished product. Let's put it that way.
Hey, we're not in rebuild mode. We are not in rebuild mode. You got Pete Carroll over there. What's going on, Connor?
Yeah, Al, I read that you've never knowingly ate a vegetable. Is that real? And what son of a bitch snuck a piece of broccoli onto your plate one time, and how mad were you at him?
Not even knowingly, but unknowingly, I've never had a vegetable. Ever.
Oh, okay, cool.
So what happened was we were in Baltimore, speaking of Michelle Tafoya, and who I love. I mean, she's the best sideline reporter in the history of television. So we're in Baltimore, and it's like a Thursday night, and we're 3 nights before the game. And for whatever reason, I mean, we're all, like 4 or 5 vodkas in. And she sneaks some deep-fried Brussels sprouts onto a plate. And it was so deep fried, I thought it was like a French fry. So I had 2 bites, and that's the only time I've ever had a vegetable. Period. End of story.
How come? What is it? You just never got into it? You said it's not my thing?
I was born when my mother and father were 18. So my mother didn't even know who Dr. Spock was at that point, right? She had no idea. So, I pushed the vegetables away, and all I got was steak and lamb chops and whatever meat and fish. Period. That's it to this. And let me tell you something. I hear about you need 8 helpings of vegetables. What? Get out of town. You don't need anything. This is crazy.
Hey,
protein, dairy, whatever. And by the way, I take a lot of vitamin C. Another thing I do, which helps, I think.
Hey, listen, we didn't go to any med schools. You're just talking about the research that you have done on yourself and the success that body has had with 0 vegetables. Is next level. Good for you. I heard you go hang out at this one spot. Do you have like a routine in your day-to-day now at this point? Do you golf a lot? What do you... I saw some clips of you golfing. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I forgot how awesome. That was for Monday Night Manning. Oh, yeah.
I know. I told you, that was porn. I told those guys, don't be playing that stuff. I know. Somebody took those. I think Billy Bush was involved in this. That son of a bitch. Billy belongs to the club. He's the kind of guy that would do this stuff. Somebody had the video, and Billy sent it to the Manning brothers.
Right.
So hey, listen, I won't play golf for at least another hour and a half.
Oh, okay, good. Well, let's get you back to the course. Good luck next weekend. Enjoy the hell out of your off weekend. And thank you so much for your kindness in watching the show and for this conversation.
Love this show. Where is AJ? By the way, the next time AJ is on, I want you to ask him, are those real books behind him or are those props?
Al, you didn't go to med school, but you're smart. You know the answer to that. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Michaels. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, wow.
We got to get Al on when AJ's on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's called a lot of AJ's games.
Oh, yes.
Think about AJ talking to the commentary, before the game. Al's probably got stories about AJ. AJ props those big lobster-like fingers down and says, I'm just going to go to the ball. All right, we're back in 4 minutes. We almost missed the heart out. Thank you so much, Al Michaels. You're the best. Bill Burr will be joining us in studio in about 10 minutes. AJ Hawk as well, and Aaron Jones. Massive Feel Good Friday. Be a friend, tell a friend. Cheers.
It's beginning to look a lot like 2001. Who is this Mac Jones? And we got Billy fucking B working on our fucking D. And all the Colts fans are gonna cry. Go fuck yourselves, everybody.
I hate a lot of people for the way that they acted after that Friday thing. There's no way you're isolated enough that you don't hear any. You had to have heard. There's some massive names, politicians. I mean, your name has been spoke by a lot of people. Are you just, because you're like, hey, love will cure this thing. How are you not going to hold a grudge to everybody? And do you know that you're probably never going to win an MVP again? I think that's probably never going to happen, right?
I think that's a legitimate statement.
Legit though, like that. There's a lot of people that vote for that I think are not fan. Like, How do you isolate that? How do you stay away from that? Because you're talking about everybody on earth talking about you. That's not getting you down at all. I don't. That's incredible mental toughness if that's the case.
Well, you know what? I think first, if you find your identity in yourself and you don't find your identity in the opinions of others, you don't need that validation and that love from other people. You can get it from yourself. And that's not being selfish. That's just learning how to, in a healthy way, love yourself and respect yourself and believe in yourself. And it definitely was tested, by some of the comments that I heard. And so I'm human. I mean, stuff can definitely hurt your feelings. But look, I shared an opinion that is polarizing. I get it. And I misled some people about my status, which I take full responsibility of, those comments. But in the end, I have to stay true to who I am and what I'm about. And I stand behind the things that I said. And I, have a ton of empathy for people who have been going through the worst part of this pandemic, which has affected all of us in different ways. But so many people, like I said, with lives that were lost, lives that were forever changed. And I have a ton of compassion and empathy for those people. And I've tried to help out, as much as I can.
Yeah.
The other stuff is so out of my control, and there's going to be people that don't like you, and hate you for things you said, or might not even understand what you said or know what you said. It might just see a headline, and that's fine. I believe that people are entitled to their opinion, and even if it's an opinion that's unfavorable of me. But I'm going to continue to try and be the best version of me moving forward, and I'm excited about getting back on the field as soon as possible.
Hey, do you know if offense or defense is getting introduced this week in your game? And have you thought about it all, like what the reaction may be if offense is introduced and you're the last guy out? Have you thought about that?
I think it is offense, and I'm excited. There's nothing like running out of that tunnel last, especially.
Think it'll be different one way anyway than your normal, how they normally respond?
I don't know. I hope not.
They should show that on the network.
Oh, that clip will make its way.
Oh, yeah.
That clip will make its way around. Thank you.
That's what that was for.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Burr is here.
Hey, how great does Pat? Doesn't he look amazing?
That wasn't what it was
He's just
for.
sitting there complimenting me right and left. I'm like, all right, it was getting uncomfortable.
No, I genuinely mean it. I genuinely mean it.
That's what that was for. All
Yeah,
right.
I know you had a great show in Indy last night. A lot of our friends were there posting clips. They were stealing your stuff and putting it on the internet. They said
Oh,
it was
I love
awesome.
when that happens. That's great. And then they play it on a news fucking channel, and then you get canceled.
No,
How
that
could you
happened.
say something like this? It's like, I didn't say it on the news. Why don't you come down to the comedy club and read the news and see how that goes? See if you still have a job.
How many shows into? Are you on a full tour right now? I believe.
No, I mean, I don't really even think comedians tour. Like musicians tour. Like they have a post office box and they just leave. Like if you talk to musicians, they'll be like, pair of pants, 2 T-shirts, and then they go around the world and they come back like 18 months later. Well, comedians, we do weekends, maybe back to back or whatever. Worst case scenario, when I was younger, I would do 3 in a row, and even then, that was just was not productive. So, because you have to live life, I guess. So, I'm just doing a weekend here. That's it.
Do you travel? Commercial travel? You
Yeah.
fly private?
No, private's stupid.
It's not.
It's so stupid.
We're not getting into this right now.
No,
but
we're getting
it is
into this
not.
right now. It is
Why
so
are you?
stupid.
What are you talking about?
It's
dude?
so stupid.
Well, you live in LA and the planes go everywhere. I guess that's cool.
No, like how it's so much fucking money.
Yeah.
It's terrible for the environment.
Oh, come on.
It just is.
I know. I feel terrible about the
It is,
environment.
but I will tell you, but it's just like, how do you make any money? Then they always say the dumb shit, go like, oh, you just build it into the deal. It's like, yeah, but that's my money.
That's extra money that could be my
Yeah,
money.
and you can only write off a first class ticket. You can't write off a private jet. You can write off like $2,500 They're like, look, if your dumbass wants to pay $20,000 to go to Albuquerque, that's on you.
You got to get the plane, then you rent the plane. But when you're in, like, let's say a place like Indianapolis, you know, if I wanted to get to Pittsburgh, for say, it would be a 10-hour trip. I would be flying to Detroit, layover in Detroit.
Okay, I got
then
I see
flying,
that.
you know
I
what I
see
mean?
that, yeah.
But also,
I fly private when my wife comes.
Smart. Smart. How often does she go to a lot of your shows?
No, she only goes to the fun cities. She's smart. She's there to support me when I go to New York and Vegas, Miami. I'm going to be there for you. I know you get lonely. But for some reason, you know, I come out to Indianapolis. She's just like, no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're desolate downtown with the 90 War Memorial.
Wow! Oh, dude.
I mean, I went through all of U.S. history. World War Memorial, then Vietnam. First of all, the World War Memorial is like ridiculous. That's like the rocky stairs going up there. Is that how you stay so wonderful looking with your shoulders?
Thank you so much.
You know, the best shoulders in podcasting.
Hey, with those Asics, no, AJ Hawk does it. Wait till you see this son of a bitch. But those Asics, did you run them? Did you get a little workout in? Is that a thing?
No, I've been fighting off a cold. Well, I got a cold, so I've just been sort of fighting it off. Yeah.
How do you know? Did you get a little fear ski about Omicron, though, immediately upon the cold skis popping up?
What's Omicron?
Oh, man. Oh, man. If you haven't been on the
are you on the internet? Dude, you got to get on the internet if you want to get freaked out.
Omicron, dude. It is the biggest, baddest ooze of the COVID trend. It runs the fastest. I only know this because 200 players are currently on the COVID list for the NFL right now. So, like, the Browns, basically a whole team, they're out. Yep. Another team completely
Rams.
out. And a lot of them are asymptomatic. So this Omicron is a strand that is COVID that runs fast, but I guess it doesn't hit as hard. But everybody's testing positive for it that's taking the test. So I guess
Well, no, I got tested on Sunday. I was doing something and they tested me. I didn't have it.
So in LA, when I went into that was the first place I had to show my vaccination card. I go for to do SmackDown and everything like that. Feels like it's pretty like everybody just kind of does their own shit, but everybody's masked, and then the vax thing kind of happens like that. Out here, it's not like that. It's like people are just.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's doing whatever they want to do. It's just, I just find it weird that people decided now to become patriotic. It's like they've been listening to our phone calls and reading our emails. They took us off the gold standard. I mean, trillions of dollars gets transferred to the rich every fucking year, right? And it's just like, vaccination. Yeah, it's time to bring out your fucking pipe and your drum. It's just like, it's a little late, don't you think?
So do you feel as if like the crowds are any different when you speak to them? Do you talk about any of the is COVID, I assume, a big conversation around the comic world right now? Is that a big part of your act?
No, because it's been around long enough that it's just sort of regular now. So it's just like, it is what it is, and everybody's going to tour how they want to tour. And that's it. And, you know, people are going to have temper tantrums and act like a bunch of babies on both sides of it. And I don't give a shit. I don't care. Is that what you think? You think it's a reset? You think they're trying to kill all of us? Okay. You know, all right. Great. So don't take it. I don't care. Just all I care is that you stop fucking talking about it, because I don't care. I have been doing a bit in my act, though, when people claim that they haven't cured anything since fucking polio. That's hilarious.
So you do
to
dive
me.
into it a little bit.
Yeah, that is hilarious to me. It's like, dude, they can take your heart out of your body, put a fake one in it, and you don't die. They couldn't do that when I was a kid. HPV, you know, they knocked that fucking thing out.
Hey, that thing came in real strong. And when we were in college, it was a massive
That was the
conversation.
thing, yeah, and they got a vaccine for it. Now, I think if you already have it, you can't get rid of it, but like they have like a vaccine for it.
Any give and take, I assume everywhere you go, you're Bill fucking Burr. They're all your people that are coming. Is there any like guests or friends that get in any of the shows as of late that get pissed off at you for anything during your shows? Is that happening anymore?
What do you mean? Oh, do people get upset?
Yeah, like hecklers don't happen to Bill Burr anymore, right?
No, they do. But what it is, usually somebody gets brought to the show, like, oh, you got to see this guy. And then they come out and they don't like what I say. And, you know, that's always happened. But now they can go on the internet, and then all these pseudo news sites, they just jump on that shit because they're trying to get banner ad stuff. Like, they don't care about anything that's happening to anybody other than just getting a story that's going to get people to go to their page so they can make money. So I don't pay attention to any of it. And anytime it's ever happened to me where I start getting into some sort of, you know, little eddy of bullshit, I just don't pay attention to it. And 3 days later, it's gone.
Do you stay isolated from the world somehow?
Absolutely. I don't watch the news. Somebody did a joke about the vice president. I think about the president, and I didn't get it. I had to think about it. And that kind of scared me. And I was like, all right, I gotta pay
Tap
at least
in
a little bit. Yeah. No, but people who watch CNN and Fox all day are fucking insane people. Because all those two channels, their job is just to scare you and divide America. That's all they do, and just sit there blame. They sound like divorcees. You know what I mean? Just blaming their spouse. Talking shit about them. So I don't know. I stay away from. I can't watch either one of those news channels without getting infuriated. Just the fact that they act like they're news.
So legitimately, from us, we thought after we talked to you and we got a chance for you to come on the show, and you had a glow about you that day.
Oh, yeah.
You had a glow. You look
Shiny.
good on there. You look really good.
This is where my childhood pops up. Like, all right, what are they setting me up for?
What do you mean? No, dude, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I was complimenting you earlier, and you're like, oh, fuck off, dude. All right, I'll compliment you, I guess. No, I was being serious there. But whenever you came on our show, we were trying to figure out what happened when you took those headphones off, and then you just turn around. Did he literally just go, all right, I'm going, fuck everybody, and just, do you just go into an isolated world for like the next, like that? We honestly asked that question, like, what is Bill Burr? Because you don't do the online, obviously. You don't dive in there. You don't really dive into semantics much. It feels like you live, though, because you have so much to talk about all the time.
Right.
How do you keep yourself isolated? Like, would you really just turn everything off and say, see ya, fuck everybody?
Yeah.
How? Is it not difficult right now?
No, it's fun. It's fun. It just chills you out. You just turn it off, and it's just fun. And then you run into people, who are watching all of this stuff, and they show up, their eyebrows are up, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why I stopped watching. Okay. It looks like it's pretty nice out to me. I just I have I got my 2 little kids, so they keep me super busy, and they dominate the TV. So I always go, it's daddy, I want to watch, it's daddy TV time. They're like, no, we want to watch, puppy dog pals and stuff. So I miss a lot of the games now because of that. But I don't, CNN and Fox is never on in my house unless somebody's come over and they put it on.
All right, smart. It's very smart. Joining us now, it's a shame you missed a lot of games because we're actually trying to think for you, which obviously we can never do. We were too dumb, but we figured if we put some brains together, we could get there. You said you like to schedule your shows in cities around events or whatever.
Yeah.
Colts Pats this week.
I know, that was just dumb luck, but they're playing when I have a show.
Yeah, we thought you scheduled it because of that, and then when it got moved to Saturday, you were like, of course. Because you're going to be doing...
Oh, did it get moved to Saturday?
It was supposed to be Sunday. Yeah, there was the first weekend of Saturday games, but they didn't know which game was going to go over there. That was that was moved over.
So they have the flex schedule like college now. That's smart.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's good, so they don't get stuck with a bad game. What are you going to do? That's one of the few stadiums I've never been to, Lucas Oil Field. I went to the old one, the RCA Dome.
Loud.
Yeah, where Peyton Manning. So, yeah, that's what they say, Lucas Oil Field, the house that Peyton built.
Yeah, and there's a statue of him literally right out front. It's a big-ass statue. I couldn't believe you couldn't see it when all these war memorials. Joining us now in an attic in Ohio.
He's right next to the obelisk.
AJ Hawk, attaboy, AJ. AJ. So AJ's, you'll be able to, listen, we made some advancements in the studio here today for you.
Okay.
Because we knew that AJ's massive fan of yours. He was going to ask questions. Wanted to make sure. Yeah, right here, though. Hey, look, we did this. We built this.
Oh, AJ, okay.
Look at this. We put this.
There we go.
Yeah, he's right there.
Okay.
AJ, great to see you, dude.
I remember AJ from the last time I called in.
Yeah, and then you buried these guys.
Maybe that's why I was glowing, because I didn't have to look at you the whole time. Jeez Louise.
AJ, what's going on, dude?
Not much. I tell you what, I've been on here watching. I agree with a lot of Bill's sentiments talking about like people freaking out. And if you just don't pay attention to it, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean,
why worry? Why?
Well,
we're not going to change
if the
anything.
vaccine is to take a whole bunch of us out, I don't have a problem with that.
Oh shit! Hold on. That reminds me.
I don't have a problem with that.
You told a joke.
In the herd.
Hold on. Yeah, you told a joke.
Well,
you'd be
they've
able to
been
go through
keeping
the
us-
bridge with no traffic one time. What? You got to suppress the feelings of guilt for bad for somebody that you didn't know dying. You told this at Night at Too Many Stars to a crowd of people that are the most like, hey, we love the world people. You went out there.
No, they weren't. Those were super rich, fuck the world people that pretend. They were spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars on like fucking autographed Bruce Springsteen guitars that night. They had like money. That was a super rich thing. So that set, we're talking about the same one, is when I did the Steve Jobs bit. I got halfway into it. I was like, wait, some of these people probably knew that guy.
probably isn't the right crowd to be doing that in front of, but it was fun. It was fun.
You love those moments? Because that was also the plumber. I believe that was the plumber joke as well. That's one of my...
yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, that one was a good one. But that evening, do you enjoy those moments whenever you know that whoever you're in front of is not necessarily either knows you or a fan of yours, or what you're saying is absolutely eating them up inside? Do you enjoy that type of thing?
Yeah, that's like you kicking a field goal in the opposing stadium and everybody just files out with their heads down. And it's just a great feeling.
Walk off.
Yeah, the walk-off field goal. You lose your bet, your team loses. Go fuck yourself. There's no Santa Claus, and you just walk out. It's just awesome.
Hey, Dave, what was it like doing the Chappelle show? I know I pivot quick, but that's one of my favorite things when you were on there. Like, what did you know in the moment that this thing is like this is going to be a lasting thing for a long time?
Well, the fact that you called me Dave, I think it's definitely,
Hey, you should have seen his sense of like, as soon as he heard Dave, his whole body just got so comfortable. He was like, okay, fuck this guy.
No, I wasn't.
I watched it happen. It was awesome, dude.
I thought he was talking about somebody here in studio. I was like, I don't remember hearing a Dave. Did I know that? No, you know when I figured that out, I was doing a gig, Bonnaroo. There's a music festival in Nashville, big music festival, Bonnaroo, and they had like this comedy tent, which was hilarious. It was this air-conditioned tent. So all these people that were high on drugs, freaking out, sweating, would just go in to try and, get their faculties together. And we were up there doing stand-up to a bunch of junkies, right? So who the hell was playing? There's a drummer, Brain, who I'm a big fan of, and he was playing with like this guy from Parliament or something. It was this mashup, this really cool band. So I went to go see them that night because you got these passes. So the lights went down before they came out, and then I just heard this random guy, when the lights went down, this guy way out in the crowd, he just went, "What?" And then I heard somebody else over here goes, "Yeah!" And then somebody else went, "Okay!" And I got chills. I was like, holy shit. People are watching this show. And it was right after that, I remember talking to a comedian. He was doing a college gig. I think Wednesday night was when the Chappelle show used to air on Comedy Central. And he was doing the show. And he was halfway through the show, and like half the crowd just filed out. And he was trying to figure out what he did wrong. They were all leaving to go watch the Chappelle show. And it was just like, what the thing is, like those kinds of moments I don't think happen anymore because people can just record it and watch it whenever you want, I can't even to this day say like what happens at the end of Breaking Bad because people are just like, spoiler alert. It's like, dude, it ended 10 years ago.
I could tell you the end. I couldn't tell you leading up to it. It's hard for me to get into shows. That's why I think a lot of the shows that you do, the shows that Chappelle made, obviously, are fascinating because it's like quick, funny, awesome, storylines keep going. And the business side of this all is very interesting because with platforms and more streaming platforms, the Netflix deal with you guys, you and Chappelle, was like massive, monumental almost for I think a lot of people's business sense and the future of comedy and everything. How is it now knowing that there are so many outlets that you could potentially get because don't comedians, that's what they want to do stand-up, they want to create their own shows, that's like kind of what stand-ups want to do. Now there's just like, it feels like a platform for everybody in the comedy world. Is it good or bad, you think?
Well, no, it gave you a lot of power and that type of stuff, and I think I feel like this is like the testifying microphone. It's so far away. Do I sit up? Do I sit back?
We knew we should have got you a little bit higher chair. We were trying to figure out which chair to put you in.
I declined to answer that question. I think, it can be like, it can be good. It's like anything. It's good and bad. You can like, sometimes like I'll see like younger comics putting stuff out, and, I think maybe I'm in the old school thing. It's like, I understand trying to make a name for yourself, but this is going to be out there forever. Like I don't want my shit from the first 8 years, me putting out like at my first half hour or something like that. So I think that's just my own issue. But I think it's also great that the kids coming up today don't have to wait for, somebody to say, okay, I've decided that you're going to make it. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of that when I was growing up in this business. And I remember this guy, Jesus. I did a showcase at the Comedy Store. And this is when comedy was in like a lull, right? So I was living in New York, and it was one of these big cable channels to do a half-hour special. I was like, fuck, this is what I need.
Here we go.
Because this is before streaming. Even Comedy Central, I don't think, was maybe just starting to do half hours, but I didn't get one from them. So I flew all the way out there on my own dime, put myself up, and I went up, and I was first on the showcase, and there was literally 5 people in the crowd. I still remember there was 2 people here, and then there was this black dude with 2 white chicks, and he was talking to them the entire time. So I go up there, and, I'm eating it. So I just keep making fun of how few people are there, and that's sort of the laugh that keeps me going to get to the next one. So then when I get off stage, the guy who was running the showcase, he just walks up to me, and he's like pacing in the back hall. He goes, 9 times. 9 times in a 12-minute set. You bring up how few people are here. I mean, you keep saying that stuff. After a while, they're thinking, well, what am I doing here? And I'm just looking at this guy. And I remember he just said, no, don't worry. You're still in the running. And blah, blah, blah. And I just wish I would be like, dude, I'm not waiting for you with your fucking magic wand to tap me on the head. I'm going to get where the fuck I'm going to get either way. Like, I just wish I could go back in time and be like, hey, asshole, I just dropped like $1,000 to come out here for your fucking showcase, and you didn't even put the thing together. There's 5 fucking people here. You did 0 work. You should be apologizing to me. Go fuck yourself. But I didn't. You
were a professional at the time.
I was a professional because doing that, okay, that guy had all the power. So his version of the story is going to go around Hollywood, not mine. Not mine. So he would be walking around like, I said, good set. He told me to go fuck myself. This
guy's impossible to work with.
This guy isn't. Yeah, this guy's difficult to work with. So I know 2 guys. I know 2 guys that when they felt go fuck yourself, always said it. 2 guys. Yeah, and it hurt him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to tell him, it's like, dude, you realize that fucking jerk-off's, that guy with the sweater tied around his fucking neck, his version of the story is going around.
Oh, yeah. This could be my problem, by the way. I do a lot of that because the anointing of people is a real thing. And I think it's obviously happening in the entertainment world. I think it happens in the music world as well. I think there's a lot of that goes on, and it's kind of getting exposed. In the sports media world, it happens. I mean, there's people that are the gatekeepers. Hey, these are the people that get on. These are the people that don't get on. You have to kind of do this.
These are the people that never get an offensive foul.
Exactly.
These are the people that they look at somebody get a foul. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we've, AJ and I have had to not do it as impressively as you, but it is nice that whenever you can dunk on those people now, hindsight though, like that's a fucking good feeling. I enjoy it.
You know what I find? I find by the time you get to that moment, you forget why you were even upset. If you're doing it right, I think. But if you're really holding on to it, someday I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell this guy.
I still want to buy Front Office Sports. Like that is what was that 10 months ago? I got into it with this account on Twitter, and I guess they are a very important account, but they released something about.
I've never heard of them.
Well, see, me neither.
How important are they?
Well, Bill, you're not on the internet.
I bet they think they're important.
They are, but we got into it a little bit with one of the writers. I did, and
What's their name?
Front Office Sports.
Front Office Sports.
Yeah,
do you realize how important we are? that should be their slogan.
They are, by the way. They are. They're very important. But at the time, I thought to myself, I'm going to buy this company. Like, I actually thought to myself, now we're in a position to do so. And you know what? I have let go. I mean, we just buried them a little bit more, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that. So maybe I'm growing up because of you, Bill. You know what I mean?
No, because then they actually win. Because now you're going to buy something you didn't want to buy. You're going to buy it out of spite.
Yeah.
Just so you can call that guy in the office.
Yeah.
Watch him squirm.
Mm-hmm. No. I don't want to
give him hope.
No.
Give him hope that he's not going to get fired.
No. He'll know. It'll be a part of the announcement. It'll be a part of the announcement. Say, hey, last time you were coming on here, you talked about you're doing 5 shows in Indianapolis.
Yep.
And I actually said, why aren't you doing arenas? Everybody's doing arenas. And then literally, I think the next night I was watching James Corbin. You were sitting on a couch. It was incredible watching you, I think, experience the double couch thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was awesome. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and I was
great.
with Glenn from Always Sunny, and we did a really funny pilot that didn't get picked up years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the story. Sounded like it would have been great. You announced an arena tour.
Yeah. What? Sorry.
But you told me it was impossible, basically. You're like, it's a lot of this, it's a lot of that. Then I'm happy that I was like, you should be selling it. I assume you're going to sell at arenas everywhere, Bill. Like around the world at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. I'm doing a few, and then I'm also still doing the other ones and stuff. So, there's a lot of finances involved. You have to rent the arena.
That's what you said
You
last
know what
time.
I mean? Yeah. So then, I don't want to pass that on to the fans and fuck them over and be charging them like I'm Barbara Streisand. So, yeah, you don't know. I don't want to get into all the numbers, but yeah, you can kind of make more money doing 5 shows in Indianapolis a lot of times than playing Lucas Oil Field.
Oh, is it because
Well, you got to rent the place.
and then the work? You
And
have
then
to
you
pay
got to
the
have all
union?
the security guys and all the fucking people making the jalapeno poppers. It adds up.
And the lights and everything like that.
Yeah.
But at this point, if you could sell out the Garden, you'd be able to sell. I mean, you'd be able to sell it everywhere. There has to be some profit to be found somewhere.
No. There is. It's once again, it's the flying private thing.
Oh.
It's like you can afford to do it, but like, every time I fly, I'm just like, this is a year's tuition for one of my kids. I couldn't just tough it out on United. I'm still sitting up in the front of the plane.
Oh.
My only one is Delta. Delta, they're a great airline, but those fucking assholes, the fact that they board first class and Diamond Medallion at the same time, and you paid for a first class ticket and you're like 40th in line, all these sky whores in front of you. Yeah. And then the reason why you're buying a first class ticket is so you can walk on like a human being.
Right.
And sit in a fucking chair that fits a human being, and there's an overhead compartment space. By the time I got in there, I felt like I was flying coach again.
No.
Delta is the fucking worst with that shit. They're all about they're all about their whores. They are. They don't care. They don't care about first class people. They don't go like, hey, this guy, out of his own pocket. Because I don't do the Sky Miles.
You don't have time.
I'm
I don't wanna do
not chasing that stupid
No.
carrot. Do I have status with you?
Yeah.
You gonna send me a pair of slippers during the holiday?
Yeah.
Just fucking get me there and don't crash.
Yeah.
That's it. And if I can sit up front, I feel like, that, or back in the day when you sat, the exit row, the poor man's first class.
Oh, it's so
right?
good. Those legs. Oh.
Yep, and then some fatty would kind of give you a guilty look, as you was walking by, hoping you'd give up the chair. It depended on your mood or how long the flight was. All right, sweetheart, go ahead. I'll be a gentleman.
You're a gentleman, yeah. You'll be a gentleman. You are, by the way. Chivalry is not dead. Thank you, Bill. I mean, that is very nice of you. I assume Delta's going to change everything they do now because
they won't. Better.
Nobody complains about the planes, and it always changes. Airlines have everybody buy the balls completely, and they know it, and we're all fucked unless you pay a tuition a flight. Go ahead, AJ.
Bill, what about your helicopter flying? You still doing that?
Yes, I am.
You fly yourself? You ever fly
the
yourself to gigs
environment.
around California?
Yeah, I've done that. I always go with an instructor on stuff like that because when we leave the gig, it's going to be night, and that's a whole other ball game that I'm not really comfortable with,
Do you want to fly, like be a pilot full time? Is that something in the future would you get into, flying planes and shit as well, or no?
Well, I probably just ruined my opportunities at Delta.
I don't think you want to work there.
No, it's just something that I really I got into, and I just find it really fascinating. And dude, I go on YouTube and I watch. What sucks about aviation is you learn through other people's mistakes, and usually the mistakes cost them their lives. So they have all of these videos of people, but they really like this one website or YouTube channel where they just break down what people do. And I'm actually really happy that I fly a helicopter. Because those guys with the Cessnas and stuff, they get their instrument rating and then they get out there and they check the weather and it's old information, and then they get into stuff and they start seeing a little rime ice on the thing. They start freaking out. They're not current with their instrument stuff, and then they get into the clouds and they're looking out rather than at their instruments. And it's fun. I sit there watching it
You get any sketchy stitches in your helicopter? There had to be a couple, right? I feel like that just comes with the territory of helicopter.
You're nothing too crazy. I mean,
they scare me. Helicopters scare me, man.
I know.
They scare me.
Well, if you understood them a little more, because they scared me too. But if the first time you're in one and that thing starts spinning, it's like, all right, I'm basically in a guillotine. If I sit up a little straight, I'm gonna die here. But they're, I've had a lot of great instructors, and they all tell me flying is as safe as you are. So if you want to be a jerk off and not do pre-flight and not look at the weather and just get up there and just start flying around, you can actually do that for a long time. But then
it's going to catch up. It comes
something
when it
happens.
comes. Yeah.
Something happens. So, so I always my shit is if I like 10 miles visibility. If it's anything less than that, I just don't go.
And you just follow roads? You just follow roads? Is that how you get to places, or do you just...
Well, the technology now is incredible that they have in there where, you can just tap a direct button and it'll just have like this magenta line for you to follow. You just have to know what airspace you're in, know who you're supposed to be talking to, make sure you have clearance.
You come through with a 9er. I'm assuming somebody's like, is that fucking Bill Burr? Your voice obviously very distinctive, but AJ wants to be a pilot. We're thinking about he likes the planes though. Isn't that right, AJ?
I kind of wish I did planes because what's great about a helicopter is the maneuverability, and you can kind of land it anywhere, but you give up all of this speed. Where just because of the design of it and the whole mechanics of it, but like an airplane, if I was to fly from LA to Vegas, but I'd have to stop and refuel. I'd get there. I'm getting out like fucking Charles Lindbergh, it's like fucking scarf on and shit, right? But like those guys can get there. These little planes, I go, how long does it take you to get to Vegas? They're like 50 minutes, 55 minutes. I'm like, fuck. And then they also, because the altitude they fly at too, like they can fly over all these airspaces where helicopters, we fly at a lower altitude because those guys are faster. We just try to stay away from each other. But then you're just talking to every fucking person the whole way out there. You got to change your frequencies and all that. So it is, but I will say, it is cool to be flying and then the person next to you is like, fuck, I got to take a leak. And you just kind of find a spot, set it down.
Any field.
Well, no, you got to make sure you're not landing, If there's an emergency, yes, you can land anywhere, but you can't just like land in somebody's yard.
Man, that's awesome.
Be like, what? I got my license.
And I assume with how you're living, with the, I'm not flying private and, I'm doing 5 theaters in Indiana and F is for family, of course, and for fun and for finances. You just got a helipad at the house?
Helipad at the house? No, I wish I did though. That would be amazing. Because that was the reason why I learned how to fly. I was into conspiracy theory, and I was just reading about the dollar and just how there was nothing really behind it. And I go, well, someday that's going to, that Ponzi scheme's going to go down, and then like everyone's going to freak out. How do I get out of LA? I can't get out of LA now when everybody believes in it. It still takes forever. So up and out was the easiest thing.
So that was your get out.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking about, and then I just sort of got into helicopters. I just stumbled into it. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden,
you mentioned this earlier, by the way, because you mentioned they took us off the gold standard. So you've been thinking about this for a long time. You said that earlier in a reference.
Yeah, since I was like 4 years old when they did it. I used to wander around in my pajamas just thinking about it.
What's the deal? Go ahead, Ty.
Pat mentioned F is for family. I'm just curious. I know you created that. How much different is that?
With Mike Price. With Mike Price from
Shout out, Mike Price.
Mike Price. There you go.
How much different is that creative process than acting or getting ready for a comedy show? Because obviously you have to do all the voiceovers and
everything. Doing a voiceover in a cartoon really helped out my acting.
Really?
Yeah, because I was terrible in the beginning. Usually I just learned from watching all the pros that I was working with. We had some Debbie Derryberry and people like that who just had a whole career in it. And I would just watch every line. They would do it 3 different ways. And I used to joke I was like that guy on The Critic, up and Adam, up and Adam. So it was all like this, just louder, but I wouldn't change it or anything. So I kind of learned through, making different choices and stuff like that. And then the next time I had an acting gig, all of a sudden each take I could give the director some different options and stuff. And that was when all of a sudden I started to work. So that was one of the greatest things that I got out of it. It really helped my acting. And then I lucked out and got on, a bunch of really cool stuff. Which I still don't get how that happened, but I did.
Because you got a good mustache.
Yeah.
What was that?
King of Staten Island.
Yeah, dude. That fucking mustache, dude, was so good. You do improv much? I don't know if is that a thing you enjoy? And are the movies you do all improv?
I never was in an improv or a sketch group or anything like that, but I enjoy doing that. But as far as screwing around, last night, I taped something of me doing stand-up, so I'm trying to put that together, make it look like a special and everything.
Whoa. Is this breaking news? When's this happening?
I don't know. Because I don't know if I'm going to put it out or not. It's just something.
Potentially.
Yeah. I performed at this great place, and I wanted to document it because you never know if you're ever going to get to come back. So now I'm trying to like write a bunch of new shit. So last night I went on stage, and the whole goal was like, how long can I go and entertain these people before I actually get into my act? And I was able to do like, these ideas that I've been messing with in LA, and I was able to do like 20, 25 minutes.
Oh,
so
here we go. We're close.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking like, all right, if I really push myself over the next couple of months, I can have the pizza dough sort of spinning a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's a really like a fun process. And I appreciate that you guys, are noticing a change in me, because I've been trying to work on my anger and stuff and not be so difficult to be around. Yeah.
Oh, because normally you'd be a nightmare in here, or what?
Well, I would be, I don't know, just my vibe in general. I was one of those guys people were always saying, "You all right? Is everything okay?"
The kids
and I would just be like, "Yeah, what? I'm just fucking sitting here."
You're off my fucking back, dude.
Yeah, so I was wound pretty tight.
Has that a helped or hurt comedy?
It's a good momentum thing. But there was nights, I would be done doing stand-up, and like I would be back at the comedy condo and just be thinking like, was that even stand-up, or was I just up there yelling at people? Like, what was I doing? That was the thing back then when I was really, everything was coming to a head. Like the shit that I was writing, I had to be in a good mood for it to work, or it really only appealed to like, assholes. And but if I would be in a little bit of a bad mood, like it really just changed the whole tone. And
You smoked up?
No. I mean I did, but I took mushrooms last February for the first time.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I got what I needed out of it. I've been stone sober ever since.
Oh, you found a spot. You went to a spot and made a decision with yourself.
I had a bad trip, but it was a good trip because I kind of figured out who I was. I figured everything out. It's an amazing, my experience, it's an amazing drug.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think maybe that's something that I would do. Like if I was ever to do it again, I would try to do like some like therapy type of thing, because there's a documentary that in Israel they're starting to use it for like PTSD and stuff for like people, and they had like 3 examples. One woman got kidnapped, another person, there was a terrorist attack, like a bus blew up, and they were one of the first people to get there and saw all the carnage. Just horrible stuff. And another person got molested, and they were using like low levels of, I don't know, it was like mushrooms and like whatever. What is
MDMA?
LSD. Yeah. It's just that really low level shit. Listen, just watch the
Microdose
documentary.
stuff, right?
I'm in way over my head.
No. But mushrooms have
You guys are like, that drug.
Acid, yeah.
People at home are like, well, I can't afford therapy. I'm going to try that. I got the recipe. I'm good in the kitchen.
Right, we are not doctors, but this is just personal research that has been done for me as well. Mushrooms got me to a place in my brain where I was able to make a decision in a much better fashion, I think, personally, in college. It's unbelievable. I don't recommend it for everybody because I had friends, obviously, that would disappear into the woods whenever they would go on a bad trip or whatever. So I think you have to be in the right state of mind whenever you go.
No, I just went in the bedroom and I laid down. Yeah, it was a profound sense of loneliness and not feeling loved. I had to figure out what the fuck that was.
I want to let you know, I wish I would have been there. I think we would have been able to help. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, we talked about King of Staten Island. Pete Davidson, is this dude going out with every like Hollywood starlet? Did you know that this was his path?
I don't think anybody did. I mean, it's amazing. I am very happy for him in his social life. I saw somebody like was trying to trash him, going like, what is saying like, how did they word it? I can't remember. It's like he's just getting passed around. It's like, no, he isn't. He's tearing through Hollywood. They try to make him feel bad for hooking up with some of the most beautiful women in the world. I am a huge fan of him as a comedian, as an actor, as a person, and his dating life. It's amazing.
I know nothing about him other than Saturday Night Live.
I'll tell you this about him. All right, he got that movie, and so many days he could have got shot out and gone home early, and he made sure every other actor got shot out of it first. And dude, I can't even tell you how tired you are, just mentally drained after 14 hours of just sitting around is worse than just working. I don't know what it is for me anyway. So, and he would always stay there at the end. He took care of everybody. And like the last day, we were wrapping on the movie. He got like cigar rollers to come down, and it was just the best. And all the the actors that were playing firefighters, some of them were real firefighters. So everybody smoked cigars, and we just hung out and had we just had the best time.
That's awesome.
I can't say enough nice things about him. He's a great guy.
Hey, shut up, Pete.
There you go. You should have him on here.
He'll
give you some dating advice.
We are too small for Pete Davidson. That dude is, him, MGK, and the boys. He's the guy right now.
I got to start watching Two's MGK.
Have a little respect for Pete's friend, dude. Jeez. Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay. I know who that is.
Him and Connor.
Saying it like a 12-year-old.
Hey, dude,
MGK.
listen, you don't get Kells, bro. You don't get Kells, bro. You don't get them.
I bought the last album.
Which one?
The one that the guy from Blink-182.
Oh, Travis.
Yeah, Travis. Yeah, I'm a fan of his.
Oh, is that your type of music? You said Parliament earlier, I think, in an answer.
I kind of like everything. And I also kind of like, my big thing now is I just like going back to times in my life when I was still alive and there was these amazing bands that I missed. So like a great guy to follow, Questlove.
Yeah.
If you're as white as me, you follow a guy like Questlove, he'll turn you on music you didn't even know. It's like, that was out when I was in 5th grade. How the fuck did I miss this? And there's another guy, Fernando Rosa Bass, I think. And it's just this guy, he does bass covers, having the best time, and he plays to all of this like funk stuff and disco stuff from like the late 70s, early 80s. And then, he'll do a couple of white songs that I know. But like, I've downloaded more shit off of those two people. It's the
You're enjoying your life a lot more, huh? Right now, you're enjoying life a lot.
Yeah, is that all right?
Good for you, Bill.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill. Bill, we're happy for you, man.
Do you play the drums? I read you play the drums.
Yes, I do. I do. I just noticed you back there. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm in some redneck people's court right now.
Are you winning or losing? He hosts a gambling show every single day. He's up there.
No.
Yeah.
Really? I don't see that at all. Is he driving a big white Cadillac like Boss Hogg? Jumping on a cigar?
He's got a big Chevy truck, but the gabagool is fine in that man. All right, we're going to get to a break. We'll be back.
What year's your truck?
New.
Oh, it's a newer one. I was serious, one of those.
Turns off
the old square body one.
Hey, I got an F-150 right outside. I don't know if you probably saw one.
I got a 68 F-100 shifts on the tree.
Ooh!
Yeah, I haven't in a redneck. I own a 4-wheeler.
You're doing great in this people's court, pal. All right, we're back in 4 minutes with more Bill Burr, hopefully. This is the Pat McAfee Show. The Jacksonville Duval Jaguars are dead. And I think that is something that is a shame. But we should at least have a moment of silence, I guess, for the Urban Meyer-led Jacksonville Jaguar squad. He chose one time not to fly back home with the team after a loss. Said, I gotta see the grandbabies. That's right. The only babies he saw were those young ladies at the shop house that week. Couple fingers, devil. He had to answer a lot of questions about that, but then he got back on track and started coaching football.
Oh, yeah. Forget about the fingers.
And they won. They won a game in London. How'd they win? It's because they forgot about the fingers.
That's right.
And then they came back to America. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And they lose. And anonymous sources say, this guy fucking stinks. He's laughed out of meeting rooms. Everybody wants to smack him in the mouth.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain.
Have a little mirror therapy, pal.
A little bit.
You stink.
You guys ever get yourself one of these? I didn't think so, you losers.
Hey, this one from high school. This one from college. And this one right here, middle fingers open for the NFL. If any of you would stop fucking me over.
Goddamn right.
That's what we're trying to get. Hey, you, defensive coordinator.
What's that?
You got any of these?
No, I don't. I don't.
That's why I thought you're a fucking loser.
I'm sorry.
You need to stop by the job. Anyways, they're dead. What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, you know, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, you know, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them.
Nice.
But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start
you know,
self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't even know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on this Feel Good Friday, December 17th, 2021. The man sitting with the Colts helmet right in front of him on the desk, Bill Burr, obviously iconic comedian.
The next Patriots victim.
Yep.
Oh, that's what you had in there stacked up for their next in line. AJ Hawk, two doors down.
I knew you passively aggressively stuck that there to see if I would slap it off the table.
No.
The old me would have done that.
See?
I don't know. I just accept the fact that they're in the league. And then when we beat them on Saturday, they'll weigh our cleats. I'll find some bitch-ass way to figure out why they lost.
All right.
Complain about the game.
It's a new regime, new era. All right, it's new.
Same owner, dude.
Hey, Jim Irsay, by the way, you'd love that man if you Jim Irsay, you'd love that man. Yeah, you would.
No,
you'd love him.
That guy has no man card.
All right. AJ
Whatsoever.
Hawk is here, 2 over. I have some breaking news from my sources.
Here we go.
Okay.
As of 5 minutes ago, my sources are telling me that the Raiders squad was scheduled to get on a bus 45 minutes. So that would have been 40 minutes from now. 5 minutes ago, I was told this. They still haven't been told whether or not they're getting onto the bus. And there is a conversation that the game could potentially move to Monday. Now, update. They are getting on bus. Game back on. So I guess there is actual conversations happening behind closed doors whether or not the Raiders and Browns game will have to be moved because it's a Saturday game. Everybody on the Browns is COVID positive, and that game.
Did they have like a keg party or something?
I think like this Omicron, dude. I think it's this Omicron. It's going to happen to every team.
I think it's the deep state, man.
Yes, let's get into that.
AJ, they're going to have to change the protocols, right?
I love that revelation.
Bill Gates.
Oh, yeah. There's a deep state. Oh, geez, you just come to the party? You figured that one out? Let me guess. The president doesn't really make the decisions? No. What? He's just a figurehead for me to get mad at? Is that what you're talking about?
You think the deep state is potentially changing the game of Raiders-Browns to Monday, or what? What do you think it is?
I'll tell you what I think, man.
You big enough for Illuminati?
I just know.
Oh, jeez.
I just know. Nothing surprises me, and I don't care. I like that I'm a pawn, and that they'll decide whether I get to live or not. I don't mind having my hands off the wheel. Go ahead, you drive it. I don't give a fuck. I'm enjoying what they're letting me enjoy. Yeah, I don't care.
Hey, after death, what happens, Bill?
What happens after death? I don't know. I have no idea, but I know there's nothing that's mad at me.
That's good.
It's just so stupid because he created everything.
Or she.
She, well, definitely a she, because God doesn't take responsibility for his own actions. What, you set me you set me up. No, I just don't understand. Like, yeah. If you just watch nature videos, you can't believe in a God that cares.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I watched this one time, this fucking baboon or a little monkey. There was a baby gazelle, and they go after him if they can get him. And he got it away from the mother, and the mother can't get rid of the thing. And he just ripped the thing and just started eating the thing alive as it was screaming in agony. And I'm just like, you made something that did that? Or like rabbits? Like their whole fucking purpose is just to be eaten. They have no fucking defense, just fucking hopping around. Just complete jerk-offs, right? And then they just like, their only survival is if we fuck so much. We can stay out in front. Like they're literally designed to keep everybody else alive by being eaten alive.
So you think there's some flaws potentially in the entire...
No, I just think that, I think if there's a God, right, and he made all of this shit, or she, right, or they, or the deep state, man, I just think that, he did what he did here, and he just moved on. Like a canvas. He's fucking... He's not paying attention. Oh, Bill Burr's on the Pat McAfee Show.
He doesn't know.
Trashing women again. I cannot wait to talk to him about this.
Well, I want to let you know that there will be a lot of people representing him, probably in my mentions. And since you don't go on the internet, you won't even know it. I'll relay the messages that have potentially come from that whole thing.
No, I don't read any of them.
You know Ricky Gervais. All comedians, I assume you all know each other very well? Is that...
Yeah, him I've only met a couple of times because he's over in England, I believe. I think he is.
Yeah, he's a very nice house up there.
He's in a higher atmosphere than you kind of know the people at your level.
Oh, and then as you graduate.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome.
I mean, he hosts like the Golden Globes and shit. I mean, that's pretty up there kind of gig.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Yeah, he got out of there. I mean, they ran him out. He had a Philadelphia festival moment with the Golden Globes. You've probably seen it, I assume.
Nope.
Like 5 times he did it.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it was absolutely amazing for the fans, obviously, in the room, not great. But
you watch award shows?
No, just when Ricky's up there sawing people down. Bill, you have to watch that. You have to watch Ricky just saw these people around. I assume it would be exactly what you would do.
I just think it's so hilarious that what kind of an adult wants to win a trophy?
Well, that's an entire conversation in itself.
That's the funniest shit ever to me. That people get upset.
Yeah, it's a real thing though. In your world too.
Best supporting actor goes to... Oh, what the fuck? I was a pretend cowboy better than you were.
So Seinfeld gave a speech about comedians, and mocking awards, basically. I'd rather be in the back there making fun of this entire thing. Have you ever been given an award or won an award and had
like stand-up things, yeah.
Yeah?
I've had stuff like that.
Appreciate them or no? Do you appreciate them?
I do. I actually don't like getting it because I always it kind of brings the wall down and the sadness comes out and I get a little choked up, which is embarrassing. So I kind of don't like when it happens, to be honest with you.
Oh, so you don't want people to see the
the vulnerable side. Yeah, no.
William Burr.
William.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Little Billy.
Little Billy. Go ahead, AJ.
Bill, you a big TikTok guy?
I thought you were going to say big tit guy. You like titties? You an ass man? You like thighs? Am I a big TikTok guy? No. Because it's too fucking... They want too much information. I watch TikTok through my wife's phone.
It's a deep state there.
She sends me something, and then I go, I can't watch that. And then she goes, Jesus Christ, and she gets up and she shows it to me. So, no, I don't... I like them. I think they're funny.
What do you do in your spare time? You don't do you write? Is it writing a thing?
No, listen, dude. I'm not going to act like I'm not on the fucking internet and staring at my phone all day. I definitely do. I do that, but yeah, I'm
You're
watching.
in the deep state, though.
Yeah. I watch like aviation videos. I watch animals killing each other.
Sounds like God's treat.
I feel like the fail videos are just not funny anymore. You're sort of desensitized because I've seen every way somebody can fall off a bike or get kicked in the balls. So yeah, I live in a very small area on the internet.
Me too. It's very nice actually for me. I'm just in the dumb sports world. Go ahead, Connor.
I mean, I had a different question, but you know who Hasbulla is? Hasbulla has taken over the internet. He's like an 18-year-old little child. He's unbelievable.
Whoa, 18. Was he?
Bill, is this the first time you're going to see Hasbulla right now?
No, but I don't think 18. You're a little child.
Oh, but
if he kills somebody, he goes to jail as an adult.
I don't know. If he
14-year-olds do too, I think. But you're right. You're right with what you're saying.
What is his name?
Hasbulla. He just went to the UFC.
That's almost like Hezbollah, which is
He's Russian.
all right, Hezbollah.
Dagestan.
Okay.
There he is.
Oh, he is little.
He's 18. He's taking over the
He's
internet.
18. Does he have that Gary Coleman like kidney thing or something?
I'm not sure.
See,
We
like
don't know.
why? There's a God. There's a God, and he does that to that poor kid.
Hey, this kid's savage.
He's crushing
Hasbulla.
superstar.
I know, but poor kid. Oh, I'm rooting for him, whatever he's doing.
His name's Hasbulla, though. He's an absolute internet icon. As are you. Like, if you look at that screen right there, you look exactly like the punter from Houston. You saw that? Cameron Johnson, the
Yeah,
Australian.
you know what's weird about that? Somebody sent me that. Like, that was like a joke back in September, and I don't know who finally picked it up. Because then everyone was saying, you fucking see this? I was like, yeah, like 4 months ago. I mean, that's pretty much, I'd like to think I'm a little more jacked than that guy. No, I'm kidding. No, that guy's, that poor bastard looks like me.
Yeah, and I think he's pumped about it, to be honest. He's a good guy. He has an absolute rocket of a leg. But I think anybody that's seen him before said, oh, he and Bill Burr, similar looking people, but you have the bald red hair. Like, that's a look. AJ's got the big, like home plate face. You know, that's a look.
No, we have the
fuckboy look.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you look like you used to be in a boy band.
Okay. All right. See, that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of people that look like me, a lot of fuckboys that look like me, it turns out, on the internet. And it's really a tough day every time it happens. Like, hey, you look like this.
Why? That you look like good-looking people?
Nope. No, that is not the case. The internet, I have a bland fuck white boy fuckboy look that I look like.
Who's telling you that?
A lot of double chins.
The internet, Bill. The internet.
It sounds to me like they're a little jealous.
Oh, Bill, you give me a compliment right now?
Yeah,
because
that's
I
what
think
it
you
is.
look good too, man.
You know,
hey, are you giving me a compliment so I'll compliment you? Hey, you look incredible right now, Bill. Let's talk a little football, shall we, Bill Burr?
All right, let's talk.
You watch only when you can. You said your kids watch like
I try to watch as much as I can.
this Patriots team, Bill. It makes no sense, and it is beginning to
What do you
look
mean?
like
It's
2001.
Who is this Mac Jones? And our coach is Billy B. And he's working on the D. And all the Colts fans are gonna cry.
Right. But that team does look unbelievable. I mean, Mac Jones looks really
How many times does Bill Belichick have to do it before you guys just give it up and stop weighing footballs, you fucking babies?
That's years and years ago. All right, forget about the weighted footballs and all the other Spygates and the everything else that could potentially happen.
Spygate was ridiculous too.
No, I don't know if that's the case, but
That
you're
was
right.
ridiculous.
Everybody would have done it if they could, and I assume other people were doing it. By the way,
No, everybody was doing it.
Bingo.
That was the first game. It was illegal, and it was only illegal to have it on the fucking field.
Whatever the case,
you can still have one up there. That's why guys always have clipboards in front of their face. Or if you watch a college football game, they're holding up a picture of a slice of pizza, Urkel, and the sign for pie. The reason is somebody across the field is trying to steal their signs, which is a skill.
Yeah, we agree.
They're not standing there going, throw the ball, hand it off. That gave you an advantage, maybe, on one or two plays.
All
And
right,
they questioned all of his championships, including that guy from the 49ers who wasn't Joe Montana, the other guy.
Steve Young.
Yeah. And there's a whole fucking story Bill Parcells tells of fucking, he was in a playoffs with the fucking 49ers, all right? And Bill Walsh used to call all his plays for the first half. He had it all fucking mapped out. And then what he did right before the game started, he said his headsets didn't work. So then the other team can't use their headsets. And he had the whole fucking thing mapped out. Giants still won the game. Next year they play again. Bill Parcells tells this on the NFL Network. And Bill Parcells came in, he goes, the next year we play it again. He said, hey, good luck. He goes, by the way, coach, he goes, if your headphones go out again this year, I'm going to expose you. And Bill Walsh smiled and said, just a little gamesmanship, coach.
Ooh.
Hey,
yeah.
We get it. Okay, there's a lot of gamesmanship. Bill Belichick, the best
Christ.
gamesmanship of all time. We're not,
Dude,
by the way,
there's Paul Brown and there's Bill Belichick. That's it.
We're not your enemy.
All right, we're on your side here. We think it's all bullshit.
Of course.
Well, I was actually drunk at the Pro Bowl whenever I thought we were potentially going to go into the Super Bowl because you guys were using deflated balls, and we all hated it because the game gets mentioned.
Do you know when
we
they
lost
did
by
that?
50.
Do you know when they did that? They found out you guys had an equal amount of the underinflated balls.
It was a cold night.
Do you know ESPN also did a thing and it debunked that actually having it underinflated made the ball get there a split second later, which is an advantage for the quarterback. And once they debunked that, they took it down because it killed the fucking story.
Well, listen.
But then Patriots fans kept it and put it up. It was all fucking bullshit.
We agree. Bill Nye the Science Guy got involved. I mean, there was a lot of.
I don't think what the Astros did was cheating.
Okay,
I
here we
think
go.
they finally brought a gun to a gunfight. Dude, the fucking Red Sox and Yankees were fielding $200 million roided up free agent teams. Just crushing it. What were they supposed to do?
Yeah.
What were they supposed to do? So they bang on a fucking trash can so they know when a fucking slider's coming? I think it was fucking hilarious. I love a corked bat. It's funny.
How about whenever Sammy Sosa was cracked in the middle of the game and the corked bat went flying over?
Dude, what about
base?
like I don't think there's anything wrong with that corked bat when the pitcher's got all this shit on him, you know? And then the hitters don't mind. They want him to have a little shit on because they want him to have control because if they get hit, they could get killed. I don't have a fucking problem with the shit. I think it's funny, but like, you know, I'm not going to like question somebody. Like, you have a cork bat. If you didn't have a cork bat, like, you'd never be in the ML. Like, all I needed was a cork bat, and then I'd be playing for the fucking Indians.
Okay, all right. So this all stems from people trying to discredit how great Bill Belichick in your eyes is. What you
No, and I also think that, you know, these athletes taking steroids has been great for regular people using their bodies for experiments. You know, so now that they've been able to dial it down, where back in the day, you took it and you're like a farm animal, fucking throwing your girlfriend through a wall. Now, you know, they got it dialed in now. It's a little cream, you put it on you.
It's simple.
You get a little jacked, you wear a tank top on your fucking podcast. It's all right.
I wish I was on it. That would be awesome. But can we talk about the team now? I appreciate you venting and letting us
Isn't hair plugs cheating, having a hair system?
Yeah.
It is.
In life,
because some woman's going to bang you thinking that she's going to have babies with a full head of hair.
Catfish.
And then right after they graduate, they're going to look like accountants.
It's a catfishing situation. All right.
I'm just fucking around here.
No, I like what you just talked about, though, because I think it's real. And I think a lot of sports people have said a lot of those things that you were, you know, basically trying to debunk there. Because anybody in the NFL knows, like, hey, what Bill Belichick did, every single coach or person in the NFL would do if they had thought of it or had the means to do it. Now, with that being said.
No, everyone was doing it.
Not everyone, but let's say.
No, they were doing it.
People didn't
Jimmy
think of
Johnson,
it. Some people might not have thought of it,
Johnson
though.
literally said that's what he said. What you do? You put a camera, you fucking film them, steal whatever you can fucking steal. Dude, how about you guys? That you guys literally made the way we covered your receivers illegal.
That's
after
true.
you bitched about it.
Whoa,
and Jim Irsay sat on the competition committee and fucking did that, and then you stole our offense
No.
and then won a Super Bowl.
No, we gave you.
Did we fucking whine
Excuse me,
about it? Did
we
whine
gave you
about
a play that gave Gronk 100 touchdowns. Peyton Manning gave it to Tom Brady at a lake in Tennessee. That is something that happened. He put Gronk in the Hall of Fame, basically.
That was nice of him to tip his cap to us. You know? After we parked his fucking car.
Okay, so let's talk about this Patriots team, though. And by the way, I think that's why this game is so big, because in Indianapolis, they feel that same way towards the Patriots fans and the Patriots as well, because the
I actually
Peyton Tom
like the
thing
Colts.
was real.
And I love Peyton Manning and all them, and I still call them Baltimore. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the Oakland Raiders. It's always going to be the Baltimore Colts.
How about the Chargers?
San Diego.
Yeah, it's going to be San Diego. I still call them San Diego. Well, they just moved, but I don't know.
That's going to be tough. In LA, how do you feel? No, let's talk about the fucking Patriots. This team are really good. I mean, you're trying to get there a
They're
couple
really
times.
good, but we'll see what we'll see. We'll see what happens, because, you know, some of the other teams are starting to come on. I don't know. I can't figure out Kansas City, though.
Yeah, neither.
You know,
can I,
it doesn't make sense because nobody left that they would be the way they were. I didn't know. Did somebody figure something out, like how to beat them, and now they've adjusted to that? I mean, Andy Reid
allegedly, yeah.
I don't know.
Too.
I don't know. Andy Reid's a great coach. He gets a lot of shit from people that have underachieved in life. He's sort of a lightning rod.
He is talked about a lot.
He is, and very disrespectful
Well, that's because the Kool-Aid Man gif on the once again, there's something the internet. There's a Kool-Aid gif, and the way he would win a lot of games, so he wouldn't win the Super Bowl, and then he wins the Super Bowl, and I think that tide has kind of turned on his narrative. But they were ready to bury him, and once again, even though Patrick Mahomes top 5 right now in passing,
I always
top
love
3.
when unathletic people tell people in athletics that they can't win the big one.
Yeah, you can't handle it. They say
you can't handle the pressure. And blah 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 blah. I don't know. I don't like.
Let me go put this sandwich together. By the way,
real quick.
you can't handle it, but I'm gonna go fucking cut this meat better than anybody in the history or whatever. It's the way it goes. We got to wrap up this hour, Bill. We got like 15 seconds. I can't thank you enough for coming through. You were awesome.
I had a great time. And I'm not going to read the comments.
I'll see them. I can't wait for it. And you have shows anywhere I assume everywhere you go sold out, right?
By the way, speaking of roids in baseball, was there anything better than 1998?
No, we've talked about this a lot.
That home run thing, and then you had the 98 Yankees. Even as a Red Sox fan, that was one of the greatest I never saw a team score more goddamn runs with 2 outs. Right. They were amazing.
Yeah, we are big.
Juice them up.
Yeah, we're a big juice them up show. Big juice them up show. Yeah,
you can make them pay 162 fucking games. It's a lot of games.
Yeah, it is. And all we want to see is the long ball, dude. We want to see 100-mile-an-hour pitches. We want to see the long ball.
And you want to see the star in the lineup.
Yeah. All right, speaking of star in the lineup, are you on tour? Is there any tickets for sale right now? You're doing an arena thing anywhere anybody can buy anything?
Yes. I don't know where, but I have a tour, and it's on the internet.
All right, we'll figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr. Thank you, guys. Yeah. You're the potentially staring down a losing season for the first time in 20 years.
Jesus. Damn.
Wow. Moment of silence, dude. All right, I should stand for this one. It's a big one.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. It's a big 20 years a long time.
Seven more minutes.
I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings. And for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. Pretty cool experience. Pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch. I got Faneca. I got these guys in the background.
Boys, congratulations. Yeah! Congratulations, boys. All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was over 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff, Hall of Famer, Peyton. Anybody hate you? And no, you can't say it publicly, but does
I would imagine there's a list, you know?
That'd be a shame. You didn't deserve it, by the way. You're just doing your job.
There are some people here who I've had some angst with or some tension with, but I see them at these meetings. Sort of why I come to these meetings, and you hash it out and you kind of figure it out, and you're like, all right, I was mad at you for this, you were mad at me for this. Let's fist bump from semi-social distance and kind of move on. That happens a lot at these meetings too.
Yeah, especially while you guys are out there boozing. You know yeah. Why? Hey, you want whiskey for the guy pissed off over there? Why? Give me one Bud Light for the lady I offended over there. Why? Give me one beer. Why? One tequila. Why? One vodka. Why? I need to make good with everybody in this goddamn building. Why? Is that what you do at those things, man?
I mean, yeah, it's correct.
Yeah, it's a good move. Yeah, it's a good move. You're a legend.
100%.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this glorious Feel-Good Friday, December 17th, 2021. Shall begin right now.
Yeah!
Did you hear why? Mm-hmm. Did you hear why, AJ?
I did not.
Oh, there was a beat that was like, whoa, 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 and then bam, all the way down to the bottom. Joining us now all the way at the top, former college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, AJ Hawk. AJ. Yeah! At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor, at Tone Diggs. AJ, sorry, I didn't know how to balance. I wasn't, No,
I wanted to hear Bill speak, so yeah, I didn't want to.
You were just jump in, trying to stir the pot and see what you could get. Bill
deep
to
say. There's deep say. There's deep say. Why you did call him Dave? That was fascinating. A little look ahead to Chappelle. Literally, as soon as you said, "Dave, did you know?" and I saw his whole face go, "Oh, this is awesome." Yeah, because it was like he gave him something to, But he was electrifying, dude.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Just walked in all by himself. Did the thing. Turned around, walked out, waiting and doing his thing. Absolutely legendary couple days here for us. Al Michaels in the first hour. Man, it was cool talking to him. Charles Barkley yesterday. Obviously, Aaron stopping by and chit-chat. What a ridiculous string of human being conversations we've been able to have. And now we got to have one about the Chiefs and the Chargers last night. AJ, your thoughts on a game that was like, what? And then all of a sudden ends with electricity. Overtime win for the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce, who had 190-some yards, 2 tuds, including a game winner in which he shook and ran away from 4 people 25 yards out. They flipped the switch and decided to win that game, but there was a lot of decisions made by Chargers head coach Brandon Staley that people are chatting about today. AJ, your thoughts after watching that game?
Well, I feel like that's what's overshadowed all of this game is the decisions by Brandon Staley to go for it on 4th down and the arguments online about analytics and what are you supposed to do here and there. Just, I guess, I don't know. Has he ever not gotten a 4th down like this in so many tries?
I have no idea. So the ESPN Stats and Info is saying the Chargers are the first team since at least 2000 to fail on 4th and goal twice before halftime.
Still could have won the game.
They also failed.
That doesn't sound like that.
Well, I guess because 4th and goal, you're kicking
goal.
field goals, so not as many people are going for it either first time or second time. But that doesn't sound as bad. I thought it was 1st and goal that they were the first to fail twice before halftime on that thing, which I would assume guys have missed field goals in the past. That whole decision making of 6 points is more than 3 points. And over the span of 4 million snaps and plays in this situation, it ends up being positive to go for it because, there are people that make it on 4th down. What is the deal? Is this what the whole future looks like? No way, right? There's going to be some old school coaches that stick around. How long do you think it is before the stats community either, dials back, or do you think it goes even further in there? And we're just looking at this now because it was a negative as opposed to all the positives that stats have maybe brought to the games.
I think it's definitely possible. This could continue to go further, and we'll see more and more coaches kind of sink in and I guess dig in and do this more. But then I feel like everything else, eventually it will balance itself out to where you have, okay, yeah, I understand what the book says, what I'm supposed to do, but also I have my instincts and what I feel is going on right now in this moment.
Well, it kind of seems like too, especially with the Chargers, they love that they go for the analytics people love that they go for 4th down all the time, but they also love shitting on their defense. And how many of these times where they're going for it on 4th down and putting their defense in a precarious spot? How many times has that happened?
Hey, we should be up 2 scores right now, but instead we need you to make a play for us because we just gave the ball over, turned the ball over. What's up, Diggs?
I'm not against going for it on 4th down, but the drives that they chose to do it on the first drive of the game, which is awesome if you get points on the first drive of the game, and then the last drive before half, if you get points going into half, those are 2 drives where
big
our
momentum
yeah.
drives. Big momentum drives. You're 100% right, Tony.
Those middle eight, yeah, that Lombardi always talks about.
Well, it's just, I think the feel of the game, and it helps you, if you're a super stats person, I guess ultimately in the end you're going to end up because the stats that you're taking are all above whatever percentage you deem to be. Is it 55, 45? Are they only doing things that are 60 and above percentage-wise? Whatever the case. If you stay in that stats world, you have something to fall back on. So you don't have to be the one that made the bad decision, right? It was the book. The book made the decision. The stats made the decision.
It's like if you lose at blackjack playing the proper way. Well, the book says I got to hit here.
I did what I had to do. I did what I had to do, and for the good of the table and all that stuff. But in this particular case, the numbers tell us that we have to go. It gives you a tag team partner to almost point blame to. But also that tag team partner is very prevalent whenever the conversation's happening about your decision making. He's a big stats guy, and Tomlin even referenced this about Harbaugh, where he was they are so committed to analytics that in that particular department they've become predictable. Or so I forget how he worded it, but it was something like that. That is always something that's there for if it ends up bad, you can say, what the fuck? Have you ever heard of 1 million reps have happened in this, and this is what happens more often than not? You almost give yourself I think you can sleep better at night almost, some people, whenever they do that.
Well, and this would have been the same conversation after the first time they played, but they got a lot of the 4th downs they went for on 4th. I remember they had a 4th and 2, got a false start, and then converted on 4th and 7. And then 2 weeks later, they played the Ravens, and they got blown out because they weren't getting those same 4th downs that they did.
And Al brought up Staley when they were up 8, instead of kicking the extra point to go up 9, going for 2 to go up 10. And didn't get up, so they were up 8. It was still a 1-score game. Some of the decisions are just wild.
Hey, Al Michaels is a legend, by the way, AJ. It was great chatting with him, man. He was so cool.
I saw the clip, of him showing up to the, when you introed him, basically.
Did you see him saying, I got a cigar like AJ Hawk?
Yeah.
His was, you haven't have you quit cold turkey?
No, I have one.
Came back from break with a big cloud in his face.
I didn't see it. I was probably here, but not here. I was just kind of dancing around in the brain somewhere, which happens all the time. And I apologize for missing a lot of easy layups. But AJ, we have to pick the spread. You know that.
Ooh, I know.
We have to do this weekend. I'm coming off a win.
Big one. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you had a great weekend, AJ. We beat the book.
Oh, no,
this
I
weekend.
thought you meant last night. We won. We both are 1-0, right?
Yeah, we're both 1-0, obviously, going into the weekend. And after last weekend, what we did, I think it would only be right to say ipso facto, we're going to go on and pick everything right this weekend, too.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
200-some guys and coaches and everything on the COVID reserve list. Who knows who's playing where? What quarterback will be available on Sunday? One quarterback that we don't know if he's available right now, Baker Mayfield, allegedly with maybe a new protocol, if he's asymptomatic and can produce a negative test. 1 out of 5 tests that he's allowed to take take daily if he is asymptomatic and one of them is negative. You find a negative one, you can come back the next day, allegedly. That is a conversation that is being had by the NFL and the NFLPA. If you're asymptomatic and vaccinated and you can produce a negative test, you don't have to produce two with a 24-hour period in between it. You produce a negative, you're back tomorrow. So that changes a lot of things with the Browns games, obviously, and because Stefanski's involved in that thing. That's going to go all the way across. Waddle, you name it, big-time superstar players around all over the league who could play, could not play. It's a big question mark, but I assume if anybody could get this right, it's you, AJ Hawk.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Hey, when we call up the games, though, we need to figure out who's playing quarterback and how many players are out for each team, at least as of right now.
Okay, so Raiders, Browns.
Clowney just tested out, right?
Yeah, they have 11 starters out now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But could they be back with the new negative test?
They'd have to get
And there's heavy reports on the internet right now that they are heavily considering moving that game to Monday.
Which, by the way, we got a text from our sources that said they were thinking about boarding the plane over there in the Raiders department. They were told not to do it. Then they were told, no, we are boarding the plane. Then they're saying they're still getting on the bus for the game, which might get moved from Saturday to Monday, in which, Baker and a lot of people were lobbying for. J.C. Tretter, the head president of the NFLPA, is on that squad. 11 starters out, a lot of them asymptomatic. How will that adjust and change? Like how this goes forward with the protocols, with the vaccinated people not getting tested if they're asymptomatic. How many people will get tested? Some people in the NFLPA want more testing and more tightening up of the mask and the test and the social distancing and the no lunch and all that, like no lunch together. So there is still two very different ways of viewing this Omicron variant that's running rampant. With what I'm saying, AJ, is if we're to talk about every player that's potentially out in every game, we don't have enough fucking time. We're gonna have to.
Yeah, I just mean if their starting quarterback is out, and for some reason we need to know.
Okay, so 3.5 Raiders at Browns, 4:30 on Saturday. Baker Mayfield currently at, Chubb currently in. Derek Carr playing. I think Waller out.
He's been day to day.
Case Keenum's out
since last week.
Yeah, Case Keenum out for the Brownies.
Yeah, Nick Mullins right now is their quarterback.
Hey, Nick Mullins, he put it together in San Fran for a little bit.
He's Iowa.
No, that's C.J. Beathard, who was in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Who do you got?
I got the Browns plus 3.5.
Me too. Chubb still running or not?
Yes. Rain in about
full Chubb.
Rain in close to 20-mile-an-hour winds is the forecast.
Two starting
Chubb
alignment.
all night.
Out for the Browns?
Right.
Three,
Three now? Whew. Why? Big ones, too.
You said it moved to 2.5 now?
Yeah, I just checked right now. Right now, live 2.5.
Just changed because I just looked at it.
Yeah, take the Raiders, man.
Does that mean they know someone's
Waller's
coming back?
probably playing.
All right, I'll take. Waller's playing?
I mean, he was day to day last week and he missed the game. So
is Josh Jacobs playing?
I think so, yeah.
He's got 9 kids with 8 different.
Josh Jacobs?
I think so, yeah. He's going to be playing football forever.
Holy shit.
Josh Jacobs he's going to be. I'm on his team. I'll take the Raiders.
Okay. Here we go.
I'll take the Raiders. I will take the Raiders in that one. He's going to. I learned that was last week. I think they said that during the game. I think I'm not 100% sure. That might not be right.
That's also the story they messed up with Najee Harris saying that he slept on his floor at Alabama.
Oh, yeah,
that was
you're right.
actually
So what I
Josh
just said,
Jacobs.
maybe not real, but I still feel like I like Josh Jacobs. Let's go to Patriots, Colts. Colts favored by 2.5 at home against it seems like both teams somehow healthy, missing the Omicron variant. AJ, your thoughts?
It is pretty amazing how they have kind of stayed away from Omicron, but I like the Patriots at plus 2.5, and I know every time I pick against the Colts, I lose, but I feel pretty good about the Patriots right now.
All right, give me the Colts minus 2.5. What are we even doing? Adam Vinatieri's hitting that anvil up there. It's going to be going crazy. Why? Let's go Washington Eagles. Washington getting 12.5. They 10.5 now. They have Shermer's kid, Kyle Shermer, playing quarterback for them at the Washington football team.
I like Sirianni and the Eagles here. What, minus 10 it is now?
Yeah, 10.5.
Okay, yeah, I'll take Eagles.
All right, Eagles minus 10.5 for me as well. Panthers at the Bills. Bills minus 11.5. Panthers, I don't think we know anything. I don't think we have a clue. Sam Darnold's back. PJ's back. Cam's back. No offensive coordinator.
They're having COVID issues too. They separated Cam and what's his name? PJ?
Walker.
So that they are not in meeting rooms together at all so that they can't get COVID.
I thought everybody's doing that a lot. Aren't they all having to eat separate and wear masks all the time?
I think so. Some tightening the rules, but I feel like if this vaccinated, asymptomatic, COVID negative test thing comes into, I wonder how that'll have a ripple effect throughout the NFL. But yeah, I think everybody is not around everybody. There's multiple planes, I think, going to every single game. I think there's a lot of shit going on. Bills, Josh Allen, is he playing? Is the foot okay?
Yeah, he's playing.
Starting.
All right, give me the Bills. Is that
I like to. You say 10.5 now?
No, 11.5.
I'll take the Bills 11.5.
All right, Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins, Waddle's out. Who else? There's other question marks around the Dolphins? He's muted. Hold on a second.
Their running backs are back now. They're good. It's just Waddle.
AJ?
Waddle's pretty good, but I like the Dolphins minus 9.5.
I mean, it's down there in that humidity, too. Late in the season.
Away team on the
Jets stink.
the sunny sideline.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, give me the Fins. All right, Cowboys, Giants. Boys minus 10.5. Giants plus 10.5. This comes the same week that Mara has reportedly said that he thinks he has found his Bill Belichick in Joe Judge. He is all in on Joe Judge for the future. The Joe Judge era is here, alive and well, says the ownership of the Giants. 10.5-point dogs at home to division rival Dallas Cowboys. This is the Bill Belichick for the New York Giants.
I like Dak and the Cowboys here. Dak is pissed off. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Everyone's counting him out. So I look for him to have a big night, and I think the Cowboys defense continues to roll.
All right, sweet. Give me the Giants plus 10.5. Let's go Titans, Steelers. Titans -1, traveling to Pittsburgh. Tone, what's going on in this game? Anything?
No, we're good pretty much. COVID-wise, there's nothing in this game.
AJ?
I think this is a revenge game for Vrabes, the Titans at -1, because a lot of people don't even know Vrabes was on the Steelers for like 4 years.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know Vrabes had a big, the Chuck's got Bud Lights down there on the South Side. Why? Give me the Steelers +1. I think every time I watch the Steelers, I go, I can't believe we thought this team was going to stink. Every time I watch them.
Yep.
Every time I watch them, I'm like, they are star-studded, that team. There's a lot of studs on that team.
When Ben's playing well, too, that offense can still go.
I like the Steelers, even though I like the Titans as well, and I love Vrabes, and the fact that he was roaming around the South Side potentially at one point as an Ohioan.
Bud Dupree return game.
Oh, no, he was a stud for the Steelers there for a while. Let's go to Texans, Jags. Jaguars have no head coach. The Texans have Bill Burr at punter. Texans getting +5. Jags 5-point favorites at home. This hasn't happened in forever.
And the line got bigger once Urban got booted out, so I'm taking the Jags at -5.
Me too. Give me the Jags -9.5, -13.5. No, I'm joking. -5 for sure. Cardinals traveling to Detroit. Cardinals is this a bounce back game, and the Lions have to face the buzzsaw that is Kyler Murray after the Rams loss, or is MC-DC, who has not lost the locker room going into Week 15, being whatever and 1, or 1 whatever and 1. I apologize. Do they keep it within 12.5? That's a lot of points.
That's a ton of points. And Hopkins is out, but I still like the Cardinals -12.5.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Mainly because Chuck just killed the Lions yesterday. That gave me the confidence to pick the Cardinals here.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Hawkinson out for the season. DeAndre Swift still not practicing.
Oh, give me the Cardinals. Let's go Falcons, Niners. Falcons getting 9.5, traveling over to Santa Clara. That's a long flight for the Birds, who are still in playoff contention, by the way.
They are. I like the Falcons here at +9.5.
This feels too simple for us to take them at +9.5, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is anything simple or cut and dry with the NFL?
Elijah Mitchell probably back for the Niners this week.
Yeah, they're hitting their stride. Kittle's been.
Yeah, but just last week they weren't. Yeah. Remember last week he threw like 2 picks or whatever.
True. They let the Bengals come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Still won.
Still won on the road.
In overtime.
This is at home.
It's always the Falcons.
Yeah, it is, because we never know, because Artie Smith is down there doing whatever.
They do this every week.
It is. It's always a problem, and it's a big fucking line. I mean, 9.5 is a lot. Cordero Patterson, he's playing every position.
Yeah. Shanahan coach Matt Ryan probably has some sort of inkling on what he stinks at.
All right, give me the Niners, dude. Jeez Louise. Bengals, Broncos. Bengals +2.5. Broncos -2.5.
Joe Burrow Plus 2.5 all day.
No conversation to be had with me there. Packers, Ravens. Packers minus 5.5 going into Baltimore. Lamar Jackson
has not practiced yet this
probably
week.
not going to play.
It's at 6.5 now, probably because of that. Minus 6.5 for the Packers. Probably not going to play. Lamar Jackson not in.
So is that's the latest that he's not going to play? I know he didn't practice today, but he
hasn't practiced,
sure.
and the book just moved it from minus 5.5 to minus 6.5.
Harbaugh said he's got a chance, but.
And I know either Rappaport or Pelissero said that Tyler Huntley is in line to start this game.
Yeah, give me the Packers, right? I mean, we're not talking too much.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers. I mean, Huntley can play though; he really can. But I still like the Packers.
I agree. I think they love Huntley too over there. I think the boys rally for Huntley. I think he is very much appreciated within that organization. I think they're a good squad. But the Packers are in a run right now to go to the fucking Super Bowl, dude. What are we even thinking about? Seahawks, Rams. Seahawks +4 going into LA. LA gets that big win on prime time. Is that why this spread is what it is, you think? Or
They have I think they have like 20 people on the
25, yeah, they got the most.
The Rams do?
The Rams have the most.
Von
What about
Miller.
Cooper Kupp?
I believe he's one that's not on the COVID.
What about Matthew Stafford?
But I mean, they're going to take 15 tests between now and the game, though.
Yeah, there's a chance a negative or a positive is going to come for everybody. Let's go.
Lockett also on the COVID list for the Seahawks on the other side.
Oh, no. I was just about to lock in.
That's why I wanted to throw that out there. Both teams.
AJ, your thoughts on this one?
Rams -4. Do it.
That mallet finger, man.
I know.
Yeah.
He's fully healed.
Stafford's still playing.
Well, Taysom Hill didn't take any days off.
The Rams could have 40 guys out, and they'd still have better
So the Rams
teams than
have
the
25.
Lions.
Football team has 21, and the Browns have 20. That's the
jeez. Okay.
Give me the Seahawks +4.
Hey, one of us is going to do pretty good.
This weekend is fucked.
I might have the worst weekend I've ever had in my entire life.
I mean, or I will.
There hasn't been a single choice I've made here where I'm like pumped about it. other than the Colts. Obviously.
Yeah.
And the Packers. Colts and Packers. I feel great.
6 of these games, you guys are on opposite sides.
That's a lot. That's a big number shift that could potentially happen. Oh no, Monday's going to be tough for somebody. Let's go Saints. Bucks on Sunday Night Football. Mike Tirico will be on the call alongside Chris Collinsworth on NBC. 10.5 points going to the Saints as they travel over to Tampa Bay and take on Tom Brady and the boys.
I mean, this is so many points for the Saints team whose defense can be very, very good, but I will take the Bucks -10.5.
All right, it's 11.5 now.
I'll take him at 10.5.
No, it's 11.5.
All right, give it to me. I'll take it.
Sean Payton's out.
I'll
Is
give it the Bucks.
Yeah, they got the best run defense.
Oh, give me the Bucks minus
got
11.
toasted today.
That's a lot of points, though, against that Saints defense, is what I'm saying. That Saints defense is very, very good. Taysom Hill accidentally drives for, 8-9 minutes down the field one time. 11.5 is a lot of fucking points.
The Saints always play the Bucks well, too. Or at least they have,
Yeah, Brady's got beat a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, last year he lost both of them until the
All right,
playoffs.
give me the Saints plus 11.5. Jeez Louise. Let's get to a break. I just I do not feel good about anything that just happened there. Who's going to pick the Super Boost for this weekend? Oh, yeah, Gumpy is, by the way.
Here we go, Gumpy.
Gumpy's picking the Sunday Super Boost, all right? So we got to get that thing going. All right, Gump?
We ride again, my friend.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
When the storms look a little gloomy and the COVID's hitting strong, the Super Boost flies together. When protocols are getting weak or protocols are getting strong and no names are playing in very important positions, the Super Boost flies together. When week 15 says, I'm going to be an absolute roll of the dice, the Canadian sensation picks up the saddle and saddles the Super Boost horse and says, the Super Boost flies together. We're back in 4 minutes on 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Good luck in your picks there, AJ.
Good luck to you. One of us is going to have a good Monday.
I think so. One of us is going to have a great Monday. It's going to be me, AJ.
Okay.
It might be you, AJ. I have no idea. I don't think any of us know, especially with Uncle COVID lurking around. But on the other side, phone calls, then Aaron Jones. Then we wrap up this Feel Good Friday. Can't thank you enough for joining us. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Coach Mike Tomlin.
Oh, man, Pat, it's an honor to be on with you, man. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend. Thank you for putting me through my workout and having the scouts actually come watch me kick at West Virginia. I don't think I've ever fully thanked you for that moment, Coach.
No, man, I've drank the McAfee Kool-Aid for a long time.
Let's get right into it. The locker room culture changed completely when I was in the league, from when I was a rookie to when I was done, and I retired after the 2016 season. Now it's even more different, I would assume, from when you came into Pittsburgh and everything like that. The dancing on the logo, the TikTok, everything like that you guys have had to experience. What is your messaging in there? How do you adapt and let players be themselves without, doing too much? Because that is a fine balance that you've been able to do, I think, in an incredible job with throughout your entire time in Pittsburgh.
I think for me, more than anything, I try to stay connected. Just getting a sense of where these guys are coming from, what's in vogue for their generation, what captures their attention, how do they learn, how do they communicate, how do they interact with each other formally and informally. And I think being a parent kind of helps me. My boys are 19 and 20, so it's not much difference between them and some of the younger guys that I deal with here. And so for me, it's just about gaining an understanding, working to stay connected. That's my general attitude, man. It's adapt or die for me. And I don't want to be one of them old crusty guys, man, that just refuses to adapt. Although I am one of those old crusty guys now.
Yeah, you are old as shit now. You know what I mean? You've been around a long time. I remember back in the day, whenever you showed up, there was a lot more, to the camera. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. Now you're just old ass man now, huh?
You know how it is. Years in this business will scar you, man. It'll settle you down.
That is classic. One of my favorite moments with you is when you would tell me every warm-up, I'm going to get you back to Pittsburgh when you're old and cheap. What does that mean? What did that mean? And should that have been taken as a smack in the mouth, whenever you said that to me?
No, man, it was a tip of the cap, man. There's certain guys around this league that I'm really interested in, but I know I cannot afford. And you were one of them, so I was going to wait for you to physically deteriorate a little bit until you came back into my wheelhouse.
Yinzers are going to go bananas in Heinz Field this weekend. First time it could be filled up in a long time. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to... Oh, mama, I'm in here for my life. I'm the... Is that your alarm clock? Yeah, just say yes, by the way. Yeah.
It's my ringtone. It's my alarm clock.
We appreciate you, Coach T. Last question before we let you go. Why'd you let Troy Polamalu do what he fucking did to me? Why'd you let... I know you've heard of this. Why? Well, that's a short side of the field. That's bad football. You guys coaching unsound football over there in Pittsburgh? How did that happen?
We know you and love you as a man. But on Sundays in the fall, man, you're the nameless gray faces that we...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, never had a losing season, absolute legend, two-time Super Bowl champion, Mike Tomlin. Thank you, Coach. I went to one of his shows. He forced me into doing... He's wearing football pants.
I think Mark had actual knee pads. Does he have a fake face on?
Yeah, he has a fake face on. That is not Chris Angel. That or he's been eating McDonald's with Mark Davis for the last 5 years.
I just want everybody to know.
Went straight to his face.
I just want everybody to know this is NFL related. Okay, we have to talk about it.
Yes. We have to cover it. Why is his penis a different color?
He's wearing football pants.
Tony, that's a...
Today is powered by Serial One e-bikes. Serial One combines the fun and freedom of a bicycle with the effortless joy of electric power to make you feel like a kid again.
Hell yeah.
Serial One e-bikes are fast, sleek, smart, and clean. Serial One's premium e-bikes will change how you move. Purchase online right now at serial1.com using code PAT for 10% off your purchase. That's serial1.com/PAT. Flexible financing options are also available with no hidden fees.
These things are sweet.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Cereal with a C or an S?
SERIAL1.com. They are sweet.
Yep.
You got, I think the boys are all getting them. I think they're giving you guys one, right?
Let's go.
You are, yeah.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Not everybody's getting one?
Oh, what happened?
Oh, no. That sounds like there's some drama behind
I
the
would
scenes.
just like to say that I say, you know what, boys, I don't need one of you guys. You guys.
Oh,
go
that's
ahead.
very nice.
Thank
of
you,
Tony.
Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tone.
Anyways, they're awesome. We got two in the office. They are incredible. They are electric bikes that just take to a whole nother level. You can get a good workout and it can get you home without having to pedal much. It's amazing. Let's talk about some shit here before Aaron Jones joins us in about 5 minutes. The Green Bay Packers absolute superstar for the Packers. Can't wait to chat with him. He is always, a great conversation. Speaking of great conversation, COVID has given us a lot of those over the last, 7 years, it feels like.
Yeah, just about.
The Cleveland Browns Las Vegas Raiders game has officially been moved from Saturday afternoon to Monday per sources. Jay Glazer is tweeting out that all the games in question are going to be moved. Josina Anderson reported that the Browns Raiders game is the only one that has been moved. I believe the game will kick off at 5:30 on Monday. Yes. I'm not sure if that's 100%. 5:30 game on Monday, says my sources, leads into another Monday Night Football game. So although we thought we were getting 2 games on Saturday, a full slate on Sunday, then 1 game on Monday, nah. We get 1 game to start this epic next 36 hours or so into the full slate Sunday, then 2 games on Monday. Let's have a good week 15. Now, if the other 2 games in question, which would be
the Rams and Seahawks and football team Eagles.
if they get moved because of, which is Jay Glazer says, he tweeted out that he's hearing all 3 games in question will be moved. Will we see Taff?
That's right. Yes. Double Taff, perhaps.
Will we see Taff and then TNF Tuesday Night Football? Ooh. How will they make this work? If the games are postponed, a potentially logical TV schedule could be something along these lines, says Field Yates, who... Is this just his fucking brain or not? Monday, 5:30 is going to be the Browns-Raiders games via our sources. This is what Field Yates is saying, 5 o'clock. Monday, 8:15, which will probably be 8:30 then, obviously, Bears-Vikings. Tuesday, 5:30 probably. Tuesday, 8:30 or whatever the case is.
Okay.
All right, so we got Monday, too. We got Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What? NFL football. What? Let's go. Hope everybody survives.
That's right.
Hope the protocols get adjusted a little bit so that people who are asymptomatic and maybe are vaccinated and have done everything they possibly could to get around this potential missing of a game or forfeiture of a paycheck because you can't play. Maybe they'll change it with a negative test and maybe they'll be able to stop testing some people. I doubt that's the case, but whatever the case, we got football for 4 straight days, dude. Woo!
We do. I mean, the only thing I worry about is what if we postpone it and then all of a sudden a whole new batch of guys test positive?
So then this was like last year, they were going to add an extra week at the end of the season. Did they end up doing that last year?
No.
They're going
They
to
don't want to do that. They move bye weeks and stuff.
Yeah, and we're too far into it. Nobody has any more bye weeks left. So if you move
We start playing double headers, maybe. You might have 2 games in one day.
AJ, your thoughts on that? The NFLPA saying, okay, sounds good to a old school round robin style week 17.
You know what? Honestly, that would get me interested. I would absolutely watch. See how these guys will survive. Like, how do you do?
AJ, you ever get any texts from like any of your former teammates that are maybe still in the league that will send a link to a clip from the show and they'll say, why are you even fucking putting this into the universe? You ever get that?
I may have had a few things like that over the time of this show.
Yeah, me too. I'll go, well, you need to fucking stop, is what I'll get a couple of those from people. And I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, so far out of the game, you don't even remember what? Do you know what this would be like every day behind the scenes if we were to do this? And I apologize for that. But the NFLPA and the NFL, I assume they're still meeting, still chatting. And Ian Rappaport told us yesterday that the NFLPA heads that were in the building in Irving, Texas, that were negotiating with the NFL about the COVID protocols and how we could change because the 75 at the time COVID positive asymptomatic athletes in the NFL that were being paid a lot of money that could fuck up the game. So the NFL had a 20-minute meeting and said, hey, we want to change some shit. And the NFLPA that was there, we assumed immediately, oh, they have to grandstand. And grandstand would mean that they don't actually feel this way. And I don't know if they actually feel this way or not. I don't want to paint the negative image, but they do have to grandstand on the fact that they've used player health as their main negotiating tactic for the last 4 contracts with the NFL. So if they were to just be like, yep, okay, vaccinated players who maybe had COVID before don't have to get tested anymore. It's only the non-vaccinated we can go about do the game so that we don't have the asymptomatic situations where we're only finding out these people are sick by them taking a test and the test telling them sick as opposed to the person saying, hey, I feel sick, so maybe that'll happen. The NFLPA could never let that happen. But then Ian Rappaport told us that the NFLPA reached out to their constituents around the NFL, and there was a little bit of a mixed answers coming back from the representatives at each locker. This is just what Ian Rappaport told us yesterday. That is going to continue to be an evolving conversation, especially with these games going into Tuesday, with guys having games on that next Sunday, and there's no more bye weeks left, and we're late in the season. I mean, this could become quite a conversation piece where what you're grandstanding about is all going to contradict each other, and it could potentially all come collapsing. Dahn.
Yeah, it could. And the crazy thing about all of it, and then you have been on this from the jump, when someone tests positive, you always say, hope they're okay. Like that. No one talks about all these. We got over 100 guys, right, that test positive. We're like, oh, are we going to be able to play these games? Are we going to postpone it? Like, okay, how are they doing? Are they okay?
Let's hope they're safe. We hope everybody survives.
That's right.
We hope everybody's okay. Not just in the NFL, by the way, in the whole world.
Everybody.
Yeah.
We hope everybody that is currently alive, we hope they live forever.
T's and P's.
We never want to say, damn, about anybody.
No.
Nope.
No more moments.
You said I don't want to do this again.
We don't want to. We did not want to do a moment of silence ever again. One time, just a few moments of silence ago. Turns out we had to do it, which does stink. But we do hope everybody's okay.
I assume the NFL is also not like the Browns Packers on Christmas Day is definitely going to get moved now, and I assume that's like a slot that a lot of eyeballs are going to be on that.
yeah.
Like they're not happy about that. They lost the Thanksgiving night game last year. Like
Oh, yeah. If it gets,
bad.
trust me, Monday, Tuesday's fine. But if you have to play WAF,
No.
that will ruin your team's season. Trust me, you will go from undefeated to the worst team in the fucking league.
Yeah, that's via research done in Pittsburgh. Joining us now is a stud in Green Bay, running back, electrifying out of the backfield, makes great catches on a regular basis as a running back, can juke, jive, and jock anybody in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Jones. Hey, what's up, dude?
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, I can't thank you enough for joining us on this beautiful Feel Good Friday. I know you have a big weekend ahead of you. Has life changed at all in the building day to day because this new COVID stuff? Is it all heightened? Is it back to like last year now? Yeah.
Back is back to last year, just like you said. Doesn't matter if you're vaccinated, unvaccinated. You can't do anything. You can't visit your family if they come to the hotel. Well, they can't even come to the hotel. Away games, just back to lockdown pretty much.
And you guys obviously have to understand that every other team is going through the same thing. And I assume that's LaFleur's message. Like, hey, we have something special here. We can't let this fuck us up at all.
Yes, sir. Our thing around here is embrace the suck. It sucks. It sucks what we got to deal with, but to host that trophy up at the end of the year, that's what we got to do. So you do what's required, and you just got to go about it the right way, and so you don't get any money taken away from you.
Hey, I know you said your family can't come to the hotel and visit. Do they try to have any restrictions on you once you leave the facility throughout the week, like what you do when you're outside of Lambeau?
Yes, sir. They definitely do. They said no more than a group of 3 of a gathering, like teammates. We can't have our dinners anymore. Like, the O-line used to go to dinner. Your position meeting dinners, can't do those. You can't go to concerts, bars.
Hey, is this
restaurants.
recent, Aaron? Is this all recently implemented, like within the last week or two? Isn't it because do you get explained why, or they just tell you can't do it?
This was implemented today.
Oh.
For us. Yes, sir.
What was it? A memo? A whole meeting? What was it? Was there?
It was in a part of our team meeting, and just took probably 4 or 5 minutes to go over everything we couldn't do. Just pretty much telling us that is back to how it was last year. Got to wear your mask throughout the facility, on the bus, on the airplane. Just pretty much at all times, you got to have your tracker. If your tracker's going off, they see that you've been there for longer. I think the episode of a close contact is 7 minutes. And if you're a close contact and you've been there longer than 7 minutes, then they'll start seeing why you were there longer, and the whole interview process. But I don't know, I'm a little confused because there was no such thing as close. If you were vaccinated, it was no such thing as like a close contact. But,
Aaron, we're all confused. Aaron, the whole world's confused.
Did A-Rod get up and leave that meeting in the middle of
it? No, he didn't.
Okay, good. He's growing up.
Yeah, good for him, man. Really.
Good for him really going through it. I wonder if Aaron's trying to get Dr. Joe Rogan in there to speak to the boys too, on the other side. Let's talk about your team, though. Obviously, so much bullshit off the field, and that's just not in the NFL, by the way. That's in life now with the way COVID is, and I think rolling out of the COVID era is going to be just as difficult. Not just as difficult, but it's going to be tough, I think, in the rollout of the COVID era, although it seems like you guys are just right back into the middle of it, which is that how it's going to be for it? Yeah. See that? That scares me.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Hey.
I heard what you were about to say. I hope not.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. But, Aaron, December football right now, and you guys are playing great. What do you think it is? What do you think you guys are just gelling at the right time? Does it feel like last year? Does it feel better than last year? I know it's a tough thing to say.
I definitely feel like we're gelling at the right time. I still feel like we haven't put together a full, complete game. So when we do, it's going to be scary. But I like the direction that we're going in, and you could feel it. Like we have that feel that we had last year, but more confident. We know what we got to do, and we know we need to handle business.
Go ahead, Ty.
Aaron, a couple weeks ago when you got hurt, the camera went on to you after you came out of the tent, and you were kind of emotional, almost like you thought it might have been like a season-ending knee injury, and then you come back and it looks like you haven't missed a step. You look great against the Bears on Sunday. How is your knee feeling? And when it first happened, did you think like, oh shit, my season's over?
So I knew what it was right when it happened, and I've had that injury before. But after a while sitting in the tent, I'm like, hold on, maybe it might be something else because it was hurting at the time really bad, and you got emotional. You put in there all that hard work just for something like that to happen. Is you never want that to happen. So your emotions definitely get tied up in it. But I'm glad I was able to come off of that and continue to play at a high level. And my knee's feeling good, so we're gonna continue to make plays and try to get in that end zone.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, you didn't skip a beat. You look great out there. But with A.J. Dillon there as well, you guys are a good 1-2 punch. He's a big power dude. You seem to be able to do it all. Do you like that? Do you like having kind of different style of running backs in there with you?
Yes, sir, I do. I think it keeps defenses guessing. And A.J., he can catch the ball out of the backfield too. So, I mean, I guess you can't really get a beat because they have him do the same things that they have me doing, and I'll do some of the same things that he's doing. So I definitely do love playing with AJ, and I think he's going to be great for years to come. And I'm excited I get to keep working with him and teach him everything that I know.
Hey, you have to say that answer, but like legitimately, you would give a different one if you didn't like him as a human. Was that a process that you were kind of worried about there early, maybe? Like, because you just came onto the scene in a big way. I mean, massive way. 5 tuds against Dallas. Yep. It was like, holy hell, here we go. You're going into a contract year. They draft A.J. Dillon. You do your thing. You end up getting paid. Was there any anxiety at all about like maybe the front office? And I'm not saying anything about Green Bay. It's all across the NFL. But worrying about maybe moving on and the person maybe being a douche. And are you happy that A.J. and you have a great relationship?
Kind of a little bit. That always goes to the back of your head. Like, are they bringing this guy in to like replace me? My contract's up soon. Me and Jamal had the same thought, but once we got to know AJ, he came in, we got to know him. He was down to earth, very humble, and just wanted to learn. He wanted to be a sponge and learn from us and take everything that we had. And I think that really showed us a lot about him, and that he was hungry, he wanted it, and he wants to be here. So he just became like our little brother.
That's all huge quads, dude.
Well, shit. Excuse my language. Sorry. I can't say little brother. He's bigger than me.
Right. Hey, by the way, if you're gonna go to hell, you just swore right there. Did you say shit right there? Oh my, unbelievable. Hey, AJ's got huge quads. Always has. He's been a very fucking hard runner for a long time. Somebody set him up when AJ Dillon was 11 years old. He was set up by this man as a 19-year-old. Connor, your question for Aaron
I
Jones?
had cigarettes in my girdle. But Aaron, Rodgers has been saying this for a while, and maybe you can also pitch in. Is it going to take like a car or a golf cart to get David Bakhtiari back on the field, or is he just taking it easy till the playoffs?
I hope it's him taking it easy to the playoffs, because I'm not getting Bach no car. He make more money than me. He got enough to afford one for me. But no, I can't wait to get him back. You know, he's one of our leaders. He gets those guys going up front, and we know what we have in him. So whenever Bach's ready, come back. Hey, we waiting, big man.
Hey, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are potentially going to be coming back here late in the season. Is that something you guys know and talk about? Like, we have an entire free agent class almost coming back from in like 3 weeks. You know, you guys are almost having like another free agency period, like 2-3 weeks when everybody comes back. And these are big time players. Like, these aren't just like role players coming in. You got some superstars coming back. You guys talk about that in the building? Is that something you guys know too? Like, hey, we got to get to when we're getting more help coming through?
Yes, sir. Definitely. You know, we talk about it a little bit here and there. Just knowing that we take it 1 week at a time, we'll be able to get these guys back. We handle business each week. It'll set it up so we can get these guys back. Some of our starters, some of our key players, leaders. We can get them back down the stretch when it's, you know, super important and for that playoff run. And you know, they're big key pieces, like you said, and they're going to do nothing but help this football team. So can't wait to have them back out there.
And how long did it take you to feel comfortable in that offense there, and more importantly, to get comfortable with the cadence that A-Rod has? We talked to him about it. It's very unique to where you're not worried about false starting every play, because I don't know how anyone doesn't do that, and that's why obviously the defense have such a tough time. But did it take a little while to get used to that?
It definitely took a little while to get used to that. I remember, I think it was my rookie year, we were in the Saturday walkthrough, and I jumped 2 times in a row. And the first time I jumped, like, McCarthy comes up and he's like, hey, if you like kind of walk off and walk out, act like you're getting lined up at receiver, and then get set.
Like Randall did.
Randall did it.
Yeah, like
in the end zone, he did that.
Yeah, like Randall did. And so the second time I jump, and I'm like, oh, SHIT. And I didn't go, I didn't move out there. I didn't move. I just kind of stopped, like, with a dead look on my face, like, dang. And McCarthy just goes, oh, get him out of there, get him out of there. And so, like, his cadence is definitely something you definitely got to get used to, because if not, he'll make you jump. Like, if you don't know the cadence, watch the ball. That's the most important thing. But it's definitely a weapon, and I love when he uses it. You know, he catch 12 on the field, or we'll get free plays with guys jumping off sides.
Well, and it also, they can't like pin their ears back. They have to like wait and be hesitant. I assume the offensive line is thankful for that, as is he for them and you for them.
As am I, because when he does that, it makes it so much easier for me in protection. Like, you kind of know who's coming when he holds the cadence, or they'll show the blitz, and so that makes my job and the offensive line's job so much easier.
Let's talk about like your. Were you a wide receiver at any point? Have you always been a running back? Do you just put in an immense amount of time on the jugs? Have you always had great hands? You make some spectacular catches. And if you weren't a running back, people would be like, hey, this is maybe like the best hands for a wide receiver out here. But since you're a running back, it's just like, oh, and this guy can catch. It's like, no, some of these catches are fucking absurd. Have you always been like that? Did you have to work on it?
Definitely had to work on it. And then in high school, probably in my 10th grade year when I got moved up to varsity, they put me in the slot. I played slot for that whole year, slot receiver. So I think that gave me a little receiverness, and it helped my game in the long run. And then my junior year, they moved me back to running back. So, but I would still kind of do a little bit of both. So I think it just helped me in the long run. But I hadn't always been able to catch. My dad said when I was younger I couldn't catch until about 7th grade. That's when I started being able to catch. And then, like you said, I got a jugs machine in the backyard. Me and my dad used to go out there. Now it's me and my brother. We just go out there and work, catch balls as many times a day as we can, and try to catch them at every angle. You never know how the ball's going to come out.
That's awesome.
Do you have any update on Lamar Jackson, his status for this weekend? You got any inside info for us? Like, how's he feel?
Is he playing or not?
I hope he's out, but
we hope he's okay.
I hope he's that's what I was gonna say. I hope he's okay, but I hope he's not playing against us. That'd be great. But I know that their other quarterback, Tyler Huntley, he got some wheels too.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck this weekend. Make sure you're not standing near anybody for 7 minutes. Have that shot clock in your head. Like, hey, I got to get the hell out of the way here. And good luck the rest of the way, man. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Oh, yes, sir. You got to show me those guns one time.
Come on, Aaron. I mean, what are we doing? Why are you scared over there? Oh, you.
I love it. I love it.
Look at the vascularity, by the way. Oh my God, ladies and
Red's
gentlemen.
gonna be pissed. You stretched his sweatshirt out.
Yeah, I know. Gotta get a new one down there, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Jones. Thank you. Yeah. Did you see that, dude?
He's jacked.
Did you see that? How hard was that, by the way, to get that sweatshirt up? Think about the forearm strength he has in his left hand to get that thing up over that. That's, by the way, that's like 7 layers of fabric he had to stretch out. Might as well rip the phone book to get that fucking thing up there. And then he flexes it. Oh, what a monster, dude. Good guy. Good guy. Good guy.
Awesome team guy. Like, what a positive influence on everybody on that team, it seems like.
Very happy that he and A.J. Dillon get along. I assume he is as well. Whenever that comes in, and Aaron seems like a very positive dude or whatever, there had to be some sort of conversation with family and friends that are like, I hope this guy isn't a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you know
That's very real, though. That's 100% real. A guy can come in and throw off the whole chemistry of the room.
Yeah, and Jamal and he last year were... Remember, Aaron talked about it, I think, every single Tuesday. He was like, in Jamal and Aaron, that running back room, I don't know how you can't fall in love with that whole place. Let's go to Sam in Texas on a 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, Sam?
What's going on? How you doing?
Keep moving. Good shooting down there.
So I just had a quick question. You guys kind of briefly touched on it just a second ago, but how do you guys think with, Jair coming back and David Bakhtiari coming back, how do you think this Packers offense is going to, turn it around in this final stretch?
Turn it around? I think they've been playing pretty
Keep
damn
it rolling,
good.
you mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what he meant. I mean, Sam down in Texas was a little excited to get his question in there. But what do you think? And he talked about, Aaron Jones just chatted about how in the building they know that we got to play so these guys can get back. We got to get to a point where they can have, real meaningful time. That means we'd be in the playoffs or whatever. But if they come in and just gel immediately, that team gets immensely better quickly whenever it really matters. I think that's a big deal.
For sure. And who knows how long it'll take a guy like Bakhtiari to, actually, feel like he's back to 100%. But we talked about it with Lombardi yesterday, too. Like, with how well Rodgers is playing right now, he can cover up a lot of deficiencies. So if those guys do come back,
And by the way, I don't think a lot of the internet, and it's because it's our show and everything, in what Lombardi said, put Aaron Rodgers over immensely. Like, hey, how good will the floor be without Aaron Rodgers is what Lombardi said. And he talked about covering up a lot of deficiencies. I don't think that roster is none of us think the roster is a bad
not
roster.
at all. It's a great roster.
We just think it's a much different roster if you don't have Mount Rushmore quarterback in there, which I think is a very natural thing to happen. But anytime you get more stars back into the fold, into the locker room, I think that's only good for the Packers, AJ. Only good.
I mean, absolutely. When your starting left tackle, who is considered by many to be the best left tackle in the NFL, when he comes back, that's a good thing for your team.
That is a position, though.
Jair is one of the top 2 corner in the NFL.
Most important position in the league.
Well, and that was where they got killed last year. Now they have when he comes back, they have Rasul, they have Stokes
Za'Darius,
out
when
there.
he comes back, he's a monster.
Yeah,
Preston made a big play last week.
Right, and he's played great all year, taking a pay cut.
Kenny
like Aaron
Clark
said.
on COVID for this game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey, Jones being out last night was a big deal.
Are you kidding me? That guy is such a freak.
That was a big
awesome.
deal. Why did they not have Eckler have the ball down there on the goal line? He scored a touchdown on the next drive, and they had some other 37 maybe.
Kelly.
They had him run. He got tackled on the 4th and goal.
He tried.
He tried to jump, but isn't Eckler actually known for jumping ridiculous heights?
Remember, he jumped over those pads, and then Kelly's the 3rd running back.
Why was Eckler not in there? Is that stats?
He hurt his ankle on the sideline. Justin
analytics.
Jackson ended up with 85 yards on that.
Yeah, but Eckler came in the next drive and scored a
did.
touchdown. So he must have been, unless they were working on him during that time. But that's another touchdown that they probably feel like they left on the table because if Eckler's back there, they're.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But then Patrick Mahomes can say, well, I threw one into dirt that I never would throw one into the dirt.
And he turned around and threw an interception, and that's when Eckler came back in and scored a touchdown.
Bingo. Let's go to Javier. So it wasn't that long of a time then.
Well, it was probably 6 plays.
Okay. Let's go to Javier down in South. No, I just hung up. Let's go to Pedro in Florida on the 5 Energy phone line. What's going on, Pedro?
Hey, fellas, how we doing?
Keep moving.
Shout out to the pod and shout out to Hammer Down as well. Love both shows. Big fan guy. What the fuck is Florida State doing?
You stink, dude.
You give Mike Norvell an extension the day before fucking signing day, only
13,
to lose the number 1 recruit the day before signing day to Deion Sanders, who we easily could have signed freaking 3 years ago. And now we're stuck with Mike Norvell, another season. Deion's going to end up getting a big D1 job somewhere else. and Florida State is just going to be stuck living the suck life.
Pedro, I think you painted enough of the picture there. I did not know that Norvell got an extension the day before signing day at 8-13. AJ, is that what you said? It seems like you've done some
I
research.
saw that somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not.
How much money did he get on that extendo, I wonder?
$200 million.
It's not true.
I have no idea.
Oh my God! But by the way, we all were like, maybe.
Yeah, it could be true.
Maybe.
You're
What
right.
is-
That's the crazy. You took me serious for a second, like it could be real.
What is
right.
he, 8-13? Yeah, well, let's lock him down for 20 years. Let's give $10 million each year. Let's get that $200 million. That James Franklin deal up in Penn State, and let alone the Michigan State deal. And I mean, there is a lot of deals being handed out there in the college football
Brian
ranks.
Kelly and his family.
Dan Baton Rouge.
Program.
What if he
Walker
does
High.
win? Huh? I mean, we're all mocking him pretty heavily like we did with Urban Meyer.
He has to win. He absolutely has to win.
Well, him and his family only know one way, and that is winning.
That's right. Texas and Oklahoma coming in, too.
Well, that's a couple years, right?
Is he rubbing his butt on recruits again?
Well, I did see him drop it down into Baton Rouge.
Walker Howard.
Walker Howard.
This is my podium, Walker.
Hey, Walker Howard fucking sling the rock, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I feel so bad for Walker.
No, don't. Walker's 2 million,
Stand
3
there,
million
dude.
views
Yeah,
right
he's
there.
He's going to have a good life.
Walker's going to be a player. Brian Kelly. He coaches good football. AJ, I hope you have the best weekend of all time. I hope Chris Mad Dog Russo's show is better than ours after this 6-minute break. And have an incredible weekend to all the serious listeners. We'll see you on Overreaction Monday after either AJ or I do very well or terrible.
Yep. Hey, where's SmackDown?
Chicago.
Oh, nice. Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke's coming up, I think, with me.
Hey, does Zeke, I didn't get to tell Zito, so I was in like the Chicago area a couple weeks ago. I had multiple people ask me where Zeke was.
Yeah, Zeke's popular down there.
Roaming the streets. Yeah, dead serious.
Zeke's, by the way, I'd never done Chicago before a couple months ago with the wife. It is beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Number 2 in the
Especially
world.
Christmas time, yeah.
The bean.
I haven't seen the Christmas time. I've only seen it in the summer on the Gold Coast over there. Or whatever.
It gets pretty hot in there. It gets pretty warm in the summer there.
Oh, it was gorgeous there. They had the big bay and a bunch of boats and a beach and this whole thing. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know Chicago was doing this. I'm like, this must be for what, like a month and a half to get to do this?
Give or take. That lake. It's unbelievable.
It was
Lake
beautiful.
Michigan. Yeah.
Lake Michigan's fucking vast.
Huge.
How come that's not named Huge Ron?
Yeah.
It should be.
Why is that other one named Huge Ron?
I don't know. Paul Bunyan.
Superior, there's another one, right?
Erie.
But Michigan's the biggest? Or Superior the biggest?
I think Michigan's the biggest. Superior maybe the deepest. Ooh, I should know that.
Oh, shit, there's octopi down there.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hey, don't go too deep down in Superior. Old octopi will fucking rip your head off.
That's right. Won't even see it coming.
Hey, I thought when Bill Burr was talking about baboons and chimps, you were going to ask him about the macaque.
Yeah, I did. Believe me, it was sitting there. You knew. So it was a baboon or a gorilla?
He would have been so confused if you would have mentioned the macaque.
Talking about a macaque, dude? I said MGK to him, you know? And, why are you going to say it like that?
Who?
That's the guy's name.
You're a 12-year-old or something, he said.
He's the best. What do you think goes on in his brain right now after leaving that show? That ride back to wherever he was going, he was just dissecting the show in so many different ways. He was awesome in there. My vibe, people say negative.
Yeah, he said he's much happier, but it seems like he's just always waiting to like grind his teeth into dust at something. Something's just always pissing him off.
That's what makes him great.
He's one of the greatest pissed off people of all time.
Yep.
But he's trying to get better.
Yeah.
That's right. A little more relaxed.
I'm not going to read the comments, he said. I'm not going to read the comments. He probably won't, actually.
No, I definitely don't think he will.
He should. There's a lot of compliments in there.
There's a lot of compliments.
Bill, there's a lot of people saying you're the man, Bill.
Probably makes him uncomfortable.
So I complimented him when he walked in. I was like, you look good, man. You look fit, you know? And he was like, thanks. Do you want me to fucking compliment you? It's like, no, dude. I'm just trying to let you know, dude, you look good, man. Good to see you. Because whenever he called in the last time,
we were
worried about how glowingly white he was from that camera. It was our side probably tech-wise. But boy.
Looked like Tom Curran.
He did. Yeah. He did look like Tom Curran a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get out of here, AJ.
Look at you, man. You're so good at golf now.
Well, Bill Burr and I actually chatted about the unduffable during the break. And
is he a golfer?
No. So
what do you think?
Not exactly.
Doesn't seem like his game.
I hope he does like a golf stand-up bit, actually. It sounds like he has thought about it. I don't know if it's going to be a bit of his or whatever, so I'm not going to say it, but
Seems like he can just pick a topic and he'll go.
Last night I went 25 minutes without even having to get to my material yet, so I'm almost there. I think he's going to put out a special soon, it seems like.
Does he have a Netflix deal still or what?
Well, I asked him about that too, and he kind of gave me an answer. I didn't want to dive into his business too much, I don't think.
There are like 1,000 different hours on Netflix, though, for stand-up comedy. It's hard to figure out. It's hard to like sift through, I think.
There's a lot of people getting Netflix stand-up comedy specials.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask him about that, but I don't want to dive into that anymore,
No. Deep state.
Like, for instance, me, I won't do stand-up again after watching Paper Tiger and Sticks and Stones.
Mm-hmm. The Closer.
Yeah, I won't watch it. Yeah, I won't do it anymore. Like, I need to get a lot better before I attempt to do that. I wonder if other comedians do that whenever they see Bill or Chappelle,
I don't think so.
think so.
No.
God damn, I need to get me one of them.
Yeah.
I think that's the...
Yeah, but like...
Fuck, I got jokes.
I didn't want to say this because I'm not a comedic person. I don't claim to be a comedic. I think I'm an entertaining human, though. I think I can make a lot of things entertaining just because I have zero ability to pay attention to whatever's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we are at the stage now, and it's the everybody gets a trophy thing. And I don't know the comedy world well enough, so I apologize for this, and it's probably going to offend a lot of people, and I do apologize for that as well. But just because you want to do stand-up comedy doesn't mean, like, you get to. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who are like, oh, I'm a stand-up comedian for a living, and it's like, you shouldn't be, though. Like you don't get to decide whether or not you do this for a living, like other people do. But then there's this thing like, well, I put in a lot of effort and a lot of time and everything like that. It's like, but...
It doesn't mean it's good. I mean, I respect you for trying that hard, but it doesn't mean you're going to eventually be good.
But somebody should tell them at some point, like, hey, we're wasting years and years and years here. You know what I mean?
But if they're technically paying their bills through comedy, then they are.
Yeah, you're right. It's just their gig, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a hater.
They don't mind going up there and, getting run off the stage multiple times.
I had to walk out of a couple places. I can't. I feel so bad for people. I can't do this. What is going on with this person?
It's awkward.
Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so awkward. Now, whenever you see a great comedian, it's like, this guy, this lady, fucking crushing it right now. Like that's awesome. But then there's a couple who have this, and I think Burr.
There's more unfunny than there are funny out there.
Yeah, but there's a couple that I've seen that aren't necessarily knee slappers, and I'm not claiming to be such a thing. They have no idea that they're not, though. Like they have this.
That's what's crazy, the lack of awareness to know, like, oh man, I'm making everyone very uncomfortable because of how unfunny this is.
Man, there's nobody really laughing. Not that I've watched somebody.
Then you blame the crowd though. Terrible crowd.
Yeah, tough crowd.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it. The crowd doesn't get it.
They're not smart like
it's similar to like music. Like I know people, and I'm sure a lot of people do, who like know of humans who try and pursue a career in music, and they do it for a long time, and then eventually it's like, you got to take the hint at some point. If people aren't listening to your music, like it just might not
but
be good
also,
music.
you got to stay persistent because there's late bloomers.
Yeah, like Titty Boy.
Bingo.
Yep.
Shout out Titty Boy.
But he's different.
What?
He's different. He's different. Yeah, he's different. Pull up the
Sammy Adams had to change his name after a long time being Wiz, because then Wiz Khalifa came out and.
Hey, Wiz Khalifa.
Oh,
Wizzy got wings. Wizzle got everything. Okay, he made it. He just released an album.
And he got in trouble, didn't he? Just recently.
Wiz?
I thought he was caught up in something, where he may serve jail time. Was it him or someone else?
What?
No, not Wiz. My bad. Not Wiz.
Stop thinking of toxic shit, dude.
Jesus, dude. This is what you and Bill Burr
do. It was
do.
a couple weeks ago.
You, Bill Burr, Gumpy, and Connor all venture to the same parts of the internet.
Me?
Yeah, you definitely.
They find me.
I stay informed on everything. That's not a problem.
All right. Thank you, everybody. So, I thought of a way in which we're going to give away the hashtag PMS FanDuel family money.
Here we go.
So everybody that entered will now be randomly selected into a smaller batch. And then what I'm thinking is we'll print the names of the batch. Let's say it's like 100, 200 people you put in there. We put them up on a wall. Then we get footballs and we put paint on the end of them.
Okay. Yes.
And then we throw at the wall, and whichever one has the most of the hit, boom, you're one of the winners. Boom, you're one of the winners.
That's awesome.
And we'll have 15 $100,000 winners.
Yes.
And then we'll have one $250,000 winner.
Damn.
Okay.
So much money.
You can enter it one last time if you'd like to right now. Hashtag PMS FanDuel Family. Get one last entry in because although, entering a bunch of times is annoying and a nuisance and we don't necessarily appreciate it, as we're gathering the random couple hundred people, I assume it'll be just a scroll, boom, this one, bang, into the group. So if we reopen the gates right now, hashtag PMS FanDuel Family, screenshot something you have watched or was at the beginning of when you started watching this show or any of the boys are following along on Twitter or anything like that. Get your ass in there. We'll do that next week. Wednesday, I think, will be the day we'll release the names.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. Then
why don't you just get up on a crane with 1.75 in a bag and dump it and tell people where to come and they can come wrestle over it and see how much you can stuff into your clothing.
All right, we got plenty more giveaways to do. We'll put that one in there. I don't want to bring an umbrella to a brainstorm, but we'll definitely think about something like that.
Workshop.
Going forward, we will. We will workshop and word shop that whole thing. We appreciate you, AJ. Appreciate you, boys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hashtag PMS FanDuel Family. Go ahead and get one last entry in if you'd like. Should be pretty cool. I'm excited to see, the throws at the wall.
The tosses.
It'd be great. We'll just do it right on this.
on the
literally right there on
Yeah.
that wall right there. I thought of that this morning while I was showering.
Yeah, that's great.
awesome.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. I think it adds a little bit of excitement to it to make a good video, a good commercial.
Completely random, so no one can bitch about that either.
No one can bitch because we won't even probably be able to see the names. From
Blindfold, maybe.
The
Yeah.
only issue is I'd be shocked if that wall stands at the end of that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, might have to buy the building next to it.
Right.
Demolition team.
Hey, the igloo is almost done.
Ooh,
really?
No, we got months.
That's pretty quick for how much work.
I'll see you guys. I will see everybody on Overreaction Monday. Can't thank you enough. Good luck to the Colts beating the hell out of the Patriots tomorrow.
Wow.
Good luck to the entire Sunday slate. And then 2 games on Monday. What? Maybe 2 games on Tuesday.
What?
Confirm 2 games on Tuesday.
Both at 7 o'clock.
Oh, come on! Did you get to stream one? Who gets to stream them?
I don't know yet.
All right, so we got Saturday night football.
What?
Sunday early afternoon football.
What?
Sunday late afternoon football.
What?
Sunday night football.
What?
Monday late afternoon football.
What?
Monday night football.
What?
And then Tuesday early evening football.
What?
Let's enjoy this.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to Chicago for Smack.
Dahn!
Hammer.
Dahn!
We'll be on 15 minutes after the show ends at youtube.com/Hammer.
Dahn!
All right, see you guys. Bye.